degree anthropologists, right? Their shit was actually critiqued, and they came back with a response to their critique. You dig what I'm saying? That's how you do it. You lay out your framework of how you came to what you came to, and then they look at it and say, yeah, we see how you, but that ain't true because this, that, and the third. Yeah, I mean, we see how you came to this conclusion, but this ain't correct because of this, that, and the third. And that's how you do it. So
I would say Diop is more responsible than Francis Cresswell.
Also.
Yeah, and Van Sertima. Yeah, definitely. I would say they're I would say they were more responsible. But like I think like after like I think they had been shot down even before they had brought this, but let's say they wasn't, right? After they brought it, I think they were still shooting it. I think Diop went to his grave, still trying to espouse bullshit after everybody.
Still trying to get his shit off. He was
yeah. That's a little wild.
Now Van Sertima, to be honest about Van Sertima, he actually capitulated that his work came.
That's the honor. Now, that's what we should be honoring.
He capitulated with his work, where he drew a lot of his work from. So if he drew from this guy, Leo Weiner or whatever, and that dude was it, then he fell on. This way I got it from. So if this guy was faulty, then I guess I'm faulty.
It wasn't just Weiner. It was
hold on. Let me say this point.
That's the honorable thing. If you keep fighting, though, that's wild shit, though.
No, I'm saying have we actually? I'm not expecting anybody to read the book, but what I am expecting is for y'all to go online, take the book, and go to the bibliography. Y'all should critique the bibliography. They wasn't just making the shit up, yo. They actually had solid sources on the subject. Man, anthropology was rough, bro. Rough with shit. They was bringing Christian ideology to shit, saying this, saying that. I mean, the field was new. All this shit is in the game, and I'm saying it's in the context of all that is how these people should be judged, yo. You can't leave the context out. It's crazy.
Yeah, but we fail to realize that in the 1970s,
misuse somebody's
old as fuck.
Misuse somebody's old work. Look at
I'm saying you're trying to misuse somebody's work to prove your wrong point that you already know that's wrong. Like that's, to me, that's why people do that with Charles Darwin today. They'll open up a Darwin book and show like, look at what Darwin said right here.
No. I said the sources.
Diop was using sources from the 1800s. Diop in 1974 was fighting and arguing with sources from the 1800s, yo. Yeah. You feel me? Like, nigga, you are off. You feel me?
That's what not make a source old because it's the 1800s. You keep saying that. That's not correct.
Yeah, it does.
That's
what
it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it don't.
He was fighting old tropes and shit. Because remember, his crowning work was written in the 1950s, right? He was still using that information, and his sources he compiled went back 50 years before that. That's what he was arguing. He brought the shit that he brought in the 50s to the fucking conference. I think he updated it with the melanin doses test. I think that was a new thing, but all of the other shit was from his what book did he write in the 50s? Was it Civilization of Barbarism?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's one.
Yeah, it's the one he written in the 50s.
Colonial. He did pre-colonial Africa.
The one he wrote, whatever
African origin civilization, pre-colonial Africa.
Myth of reality, right? So he brought the arguments from there. I think he updated his new information was the melanin dosage test, and then he brought along Dear Follow Banger with the language part of the shit.
No,
but everything.
You giving the field more credit. Yo. I'm saying in 1974 they didn't know that humans was on the Nile, yo. 160,000 years ago. Right. Yeah, nigga. So you ain't read I thought you actually read the Cairo Symposium. They argued that nigga down to the ground. Nigga, they argued Diop to the ground on that point. Yo, get the fuck out of here. How would you know that? You ain't know that? Yeah, you should probably read that, yo. I'm always
So,
get you. I read it.
so 170 years ago,
170,000 years ago.
170,000 years ago,
170,000. Yeah, they didn't realize that
160,000
in
humans.
1974, they argued
I
with
don't know
DI
that
that there wasn't no humans on the Nile.
Yeah,
That
I
I'm
don't think
talking
that
about the
matters.
spaghetti up against the wall, because like I don't even know how that had relevance to the point here.
That
Like
was
I,
before the
Whoa,
Africa.
hold on. Chef,
Theory,
you ain't
like
hear Chef, you ain't hear what you said. So you just talking and not knowing what you're saying out your mouth?
what?
You got at least
Go
know what
ahead.
the hell you saying out your mouth. Your point was this nigga used sources from the 1800s. Okay, mischaracterization. He used sources from the 1800s. He used sources from the 1800s to 1900s, all the way up to this time. He used all the sources. And I'm saying you made the assertion that they knew shit. They didn't know none of that. And they know none of that shit like you thought they did. I'm telling you, bro. They didn't even come to a full consensus. They didn't know, bro. That's why they asked the question to know. And I give the example. Hold on. And I give the example of how they didn't even recognize at the Cairo Symposium that in 160,000 years ago that there was Homo sapiens sapiens residing on the Nile.
They Egyptologists. Why would that matter?
Community.
So Diop don't want.
Yeah, I said the data, nigga.
He the only one knew that. Like, but he was bringing the sources that was.
He was bringing that shit. They was like, no, you couldn't know that. They argued him down. Well, we gotta check that out. Right, bro. So I'm saying is,
I don't think that had nothing to do with what I was talking about.
It did. You said the nigga used outdated shit. I said outdated shit ain't outdated. Not unless the information is outdated.
No, I ain't saying that
he doesn't make it outdated.
Hold on. So
Charles
me
Darwin was in
saying
the
that
1800s, dog.
you saying that I was saying that he got everything wrong?
No, you said that the nigga was using sources from the 1800s. Charles Darwin
had already been debunked, though. That was the
so that would make it wrong. 1800s. That's not what makes a source old. Not the date on it.
I'm gonna let you have it. I'm gonna let you have it.
Because it's from the 1800s don't make it wrong, but if it's already been debunked, though, that's enough.
How does that contradict what I said, though?
You said that the nigga used old sources. I said no such thing as an old source. The only way a source get old is if the information has changed. Then it's old. So Charles Darwin published his theory in 1856. You can't say, oh, that's 1856. It's old. That's what religious people say. When in actuality, the fucking theory itself still stands. They just added more shit to it. So the fact that it was published in 1856 doesn't mean it's old.
It would be kind of outdated because, like, we know more about it. We know about the theory than Darwin did now.
No. Go to your second point.
Wrong. Like,
my second point was that you was making an assertion of how much everybody knew in 1974. That's what you said. I say, bro, they ain't know as much as you thought they knew. I said they challenged this nigga on Homo sapiens sapiens residing on the Nile River at 170,000 years ago. They was like, what? You don't know what you're talking about, the ops. That's what I'm saying.
All right, so that's my point. I'm not arguing. I'm not talking about the things that he got right. It's the things that he got wrong that he stood on is where we have the issue. They didn't
know he got that right, though, yo. They didn't know the nigga got that right. Are we serious right now? They argued on him. They didn't know he got that right. Them niggas ain't know what the fuck niggas was getting right. They say, well, hold on.
Human beings saying on the now.
That's wild to me.
Hold on. Human beings being on the now 160,000 years ago. How is that germane to?
Because that's the evidence
nobody knew
he was
that
bringing that they denied.
Is that what you're saying to me?
No. Obviously somebody else had it because he brought it. And I'm saying the international, because it was the international scientific community, they argued that point. People there actually argued that point. That's not true, nigga. How would you know that? So I'm saying there's plenty of things that y'all act like it was a super data bank and everything. It's not that, bro. Y'all not in context at all. I mean, like, come on.
These conversations, it'd be so many red herrings, bro. Like,
that's a red herring.
Because like
the statement was he used outdated sources, though.
Point is now at this point, like
his point was that Diop's used outdated. Okay,
I think he was trying to make a different point, but he just said that. Like I think,
okay. So what was your point, Stephen? Say it again about him using outdated sources. Go ahead.
Never mind.
Now I'm trying to follow along with y'all. I definitely like the part where you was like they didn't have access to it, but yet he brought it to the conference. That's kind of confusing. Like the information
he got. Hold on. Who said it didn't have?
They didn't know it. They didn't nobody. You said they didn't know it.
I said the participants at the conference argued that there was no way he could prove that. That's what they said as the international scientific community at the time, yo. So, okay, I'm gonna get off that. I'm gonna leave it alone. Keep saying what y'all saying. All right.
No, I'm simply asking how Diop's had it and they ain't had it. I guess that's what I'm asking specifically.
You said what? I'm saying since y'all never took the time to open up the back of a Diop's book, y'all don't know what the hell y'all be talking about. Really, who y'all should be banging on is the motherfuckers he got this shit from. Harvard,
no, they was already
Cambridge,
outdated.
No. Cambridge, Harvard, Columbia, archaeologists. Bang on them niggas. Do something. Do something serious.
Yeah.
Get out of here, man. Y'all act like this nigga did. The nigga got so. Y'all don't know because you ain't looked at the back of the book. I'm not even asking you to read the fucking book. I say, yo, why don't you read the sources where he got the information from? That's proper for the course where you start howling and screaming at a nigga. Howl and scream at the sources. Why the fuck should he know if the source he getting it from claim to know and it's wrong?
That's where they would ask you, why would you use this source though?
Right.
Because get your argument. That's why he used it.
Why would you use the Bible, nigga? Why would you use this source? Why would you what are you doing?
It made sense to use the fucking Bible. You don't know why he used the Bible now?
It was 1970.
Wait. Let me get this straight. So y'all not familiar with the Hermetic hypothesis and you know what?
Yeah, arguing shit from 1800. That's the point. He was arguing against arguments from the 1800s.
No, I'm good.
Now do you see my point?
No, I don't see a point at all.
So who at the symposium was bringing the Hermetic hypothesis?
Hell, I think he was, wasn't he? I think Diop was bringing.
No, let's ask who at the symposium.
I don't know. I don't know.
I
don't know. That shit was still in circulation.
I've seen the symposium.
It's obvious it was in the fucking thing because they was arguing over the invading race theory. Niggas, that shit was like wasn't supposed to be around, but it was lingering. The smell was still there. Obvious.
No, because they shot both of them down though. They shot Diop down and they shot the white.
They didn't. They shot the white boy shit down. They ain't shoot Diop shit down.
They shot.
The question is why?
They shot both of their asses.
No, they didn't. Not like that. I'm just saying they outright didn't listen to the white boy shit. The difference was white, but they listened to Diop's.
See, that's another thing. That's a whole nother conversation.
No, it's not. It's the reason why you think they listen to him, Corey.
I do agree with that, though. I do agree with that.
But why do you think they listen to him, though, Corey? I know why they listen to him. Because they listened to him because it was the whole reason for the conference is to give niggas like him a chance, though. So if you shoot that nigga down, then you don't got no conference.
That's a good answer. I could definitely agree with that. The way you said that, I could agree with that.
The fuck? That's what the conference was for, to give niggas of African descent a chance to talk about their own fucking history. Prior to that, you wasn't weighing in like that. It wasn't that. So they say, let's get some black science.
As soon as they give niggas a chance from the conference.
See, it's that piece right there.
What your grandmother say? Give a nigga a rope, he think he a cowboy. You feel me? That's
boy, fuck it all up for us. That's wow.
It's getting dangerously close to a DEI conference, man. I ain't gonna. We're getting close.
That's real dangerously close.
It's starting to sound like an exception
to what they using the word DEI for it today. Yeah, it's getting close to that, definitely. But that's kind of wild.
Why would it even be a need for a DE, whatever the fuck y'all just said? Why y'all think they needed that? Was it a reason, or
I
just
ain't
a bunch
with
of crazy
Logic
motherfuckers?
the way he.
Oh no, I agree with
I'm not with Logic.
Yeah, I'm just trying. I'm saying, like, what fucking world do y'all niggas live in?
I don't know.
It's a joke.
Jesus Christ, yo.
It's
Really?
a joke. You can
But I understand what he's
No,
saying.
that ain't no motherfucking joke with Corey and Wishman
That
Common.
was
That ain't joking.
that was a joke, man. That was a
Oh,
joke.
come on, yo. So then why, if it's a joke, then why argue from that point?
I just do something out there.
No, listen.
No, but I hear you though, Logic. I hear what you're saying. I know you was joking. I know
I'm talking about you, Corey. Was you joking, Corey? You said it first, Corey. Was you joking?
No, I wasn't saying that it was a DEI, but no, I wasn't joking about what I was saying. Like,
right.
So the whole point is like you from what you saying. I'm going off of what you saying, right? Because it's, and I ain't have a problem with the way you worded it, and nothing like that. I kind of agree with you. But no, I wasn't joking about that. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think
they giving us a chance. Well, not us, but they giving people from the continent a chance to speak on things from their perspective.
Not just the continent, in general.
I don't think Logic was joking either, because I heard Logic express that same sentiment. It was either him or Brad. Something about the museum, like they displayed some of his stuff in the museum. Because I remember we was having an earlier discussion, and the way he characterized it was basically almost like a kind of like a pat on the head type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like they just kind of.
I would say that. I wouldn't say it was that's something different than me. But I do agree with Logic there that it was kind of like a. I don't even know if it was. I would say pat on the head, but this was wild as fuck to me.
I'm saying, Corey, I'm saying them entertaining him is almost.
To a museum is a pat on the head.
It wasn't you. I couldn't remember. I think it was Logic.
Well, you got to understand the context and why I'm saying.
You putting a little sauce on that, but that's cool.
Yeah, I might have messed that up a little bit.
What did you actually say, Logic? Hold on.
Basically,
what did you actually say?
Oh, so just now I made a joke, right?
No,
because of the
other shit. Not to.
I have no idea what Haskell talking about.
You talking about why they
on the head. I don't want to be associated with no shit like that.
Yeah, but I mean, in general, though, even I might have messed that up. You feel me? But the general sentiment is that they're just patronizing him. You know what I'm saying? Just to kind of get him out. Oh, that's cute. Okay, nice little theory. Okay.
Oh, that nice. Was Ashton that day. Ashton said that you gotta know when they're actually poking fun at you. I remember that, but that wasn't
right.
Oh, okay.
No. Corey said that statement when they said these niggas was over-prepared. Come on, Corey, yo, come on, man. Come on, yo. Come on, bro.
Oh, you want to go back to that?
Yeah, that's the same. That's at the conference.
You don't want to do that.
I actually do.
It's in the same. It's in the same vein, though. It's in the.
Hey, you might want to hit the button on this one, Brad. That's gonna be a cool. If they rehash that, this gonna get crazy.
So you do agree with Corey with that whole what Ankh just said? Then, like they was kind of just placating him. They weren't really taking him serious.
I just explained that I was joking when I said what I said, and you keep trying to insert that I said something.
Not the DEI part. No, not the DEI part. I'm asking a question. I'm not saying you are. A while ago, when Ankh brought up the exact quote, because I couldn't remember it, about the thing in the museum, and you're saying, hey, you don't want to go back there, Ankh. That gives me the impression that you kind of
agree. I didn't say that.
That was Corey actually, and my sentiments is this: if we're unable to put things in its proper cultural context, and make sure we understand what environment them people was raised up in and the climate and what they was fighting against, it's a crazy conversation, yo. Because if you take them people out of that environment, they sound like a bunch of wild ass ignorant motherfuckers just talking. But if you put them back in the environment, then it makes sense, yo. If I say that nigga over there eating motherfucking dirt, you be like, what the fuck is wrong with that nigga eating dirt? And then you put it in the context where there ain't no food, so them niggas made dirt pies to eat. And it got them through because of some nutrients in it. So then it make more sense, yo. We cannot have this conversation out of the context of Jim Crow, okay, 1935. It doesn't make sense, bro. Nobody does that. Damn. Like, I don't know why y'all can't see that. Well, they should have known better. Really? Or the niggas shouldn't have lied on the degrees, huh? Like niggas was readily getting the ability to get a degree in the next statement, B. Let me finish my
I ain't
point.
gonna lie, Unc ain't gonna stop trying to get Ben
No,
through the
let me
door.
finish
He gonna
my
get
point.
Ben in there.
I just want to finish my point. Let me finish my point. Damn. Then a nigga will say, after you just said all that, a nigga will make the motherfucking point, well, this nigga got a degree then. Really? That's crazy. Of course niggas was always getting degrees. Of course that can't be the point. The point was that getting a degree wasn't readily available for people of color at all. That's the point. So, fuck that point. That point don't mean nothing. Let's beat them up. Go for it. Fuck it.
No, he had a degree when you talking about Diop.
Diop had a degree. Yeah. And he was an anthropologist, yo. The niggas don't respect that nigga shit. Yeah, like he was a pseudo.
And he was a physicist.
Well, I mean, two things can be true.
A nuclear physicist, I believe.
Oh man, as if it ain't hard enough, huh? God damn.
Yeah, No, I understand the confusion to be.
I want to revisit something though. I want to revisit the statement that they wrote.
Yeah, here we go.
In the paper, in the critique, I guess. I think that was a critique or a rebuttal or whatever it was.
They wanted a rebuttal. They was letting them niggas know how, y'all niggas wasn't even prepared like these niggas was. Because to get in the conference, they send out a communication and they tell you what you're gonna need for the conference. You got to write a abstract.
So that's what I want to say. So yeah, and I understand that because we had read that, we had went over that. We can probably bring that up if you got that. I wouldn't know what it was called or whatever. But
conclusion. It's in a conclusion. So good. They saying that these niggas was bringing shit that they wasn't thinking. They like they came with a multidisciplinary approach.
Right.
Where
so
niggas
the way I read it, right? And I know how you read it. They said, because they put it in them words, right? Like like they was way prepared or over prepared or some words that they used, right?
Mm-hmm.
What they were really saying is like these niggas was throwing anything up against the wall and seeing what stick. Like they brought the kitchen sink. These niggas brought like high school photos and shit and all this stuff.
Yeah, you good.
How do you get somebody being over prepared?
And you can't listen to Kirk because it's funny as shit.
This is what
it is funny.
Ridiculous, man.
When you read logic, you know what they saying. Like, because
bring the statement up. Go look for the.
I always explain like
driving down the road, yo. It's right in the
email. I always explain like my work emails, right? How my work emails go. Like when I be like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and order 2 new trial machines or something. You know what I mean? I'll just throw that out there in the email and this, that, and the other. But then they'll email me back, right? Now these trial machines is like $80,000 a piece, but they'll email me back and like, yeah, we appreciate how much you do for the company and all of this old beautiful language that they give me in these, how you work so hard and you do so much for the company and we wouldn't be here and without you and this and that and all this whole other shit. But really what they saying is, no, motherfucker, you can't have no goddamn 2 more $80,000 trial machines because we just bought you 2 more last year. You see what I'm saying? That's basically what they saying, but they use all this old pretty and talk all pretty to me. You know what I'm saying? Just to shoot me down.
They were doing the white boy thing, so they kind of sneaky.
No, hold on, let me explain it. Okay, hold on.
That's what they was doing with Diop, basically.
Okay, so let me show you why they wasn't doing that.
They let him down easily.
No, man. It's 1974. Since I recognize where the field of anthropology was in 1974, I get a whole different context out of that. What they was basically saying was we wasn't even prepared to respond to that 160,000 year fossil on the motherfucking Nile. We wasn't. In fact, we ain't even had no idea, nigga, that you was gonna start bringing in evolutionary arguments in this shit. It fucked them up.
They saying, like, bro,
they say, yo, we wasn't even. Yeah, they say, yo, we didn't know you was gonna bring in African
languages. Talking about that. That's what they trying to tell him, bro. Like,
no, that's not. No.
We wasn't even on that.
Yo, you gotta let me finish, though. Yo, you gotta let me finish.
Go ahead.
Right. You gotta let me finish. They was like, we not even on that, but now we recognize we fucking need to be on it because that shit is really relevant. And now we do need to be interdisciplinary when getting this question answered. That's what happened, bro. You gotta read the next line. Read the next thing. He said, yo, you know what? We now need to start going interdisciplinary. They forced the field to change the way they looked at shit, yo. The way they seen it. So you using bones that's on a Nile tool, you using tools on a Nile 160,000 years to say that the early Homo sapiens would have been what? Okay. So the early Homo sapiens would have been what? What Diop? He said they Negroes. Okay, so if they on the Nile 160,000 years, why y'all trying to act like none of them was on the Nile at 10,000 years ago? So they would
have been Wolof type niggas. You know what I mean?
Nah, that was part of the African language. Guess what he proved though? At the conference, he proved that Semitic. Hold on, yo. He proved that it's six. First of all, it's 6 branches of the Afro-Asiatic. 5 is in Africa, yo. So he was basically saying that 5 of these languages was in Africa. He said, and Egyptians did not speak a Semitic language. Prior to that, they actually thought the Egyptians spoke a Semitic language, bro. He broke their ass off with that. That's why I say it's a good read, bro. And no, I'm not expecting y'all to read the shit, but your man Hit's got a tool where you can put that shit in the notebook shit and then ask those specific questions, and then you'll get a better understanding of what the fuck was going on, yo. So he wasn't a clown, nigga. He wasn't that. The nigga was serious. Now niggas promote that shit are clowns. I think we need to make a clear distinction between some wild ass nigga who never read a Diop's book, promote Diop's shit, mischaracterize Diop's shit in a pseudo manner, and then making Diop's a pseudo because they use this outdated material. I think there needs to be a distinction, and that's why that's always been my argument.
Yeah, I wouldn't refer to him as a clown though. I mean, that wouldn't be something I would espouse. But you know, I just feel like maybe is that the Cairo Symposium document?
Yeah. Go to the conclusion, and it's a great. It was like, damn.
This is called Cairo Symposium.
Yeah, the people of Egypt and the decipherment of the Meretic script. And
the peopling of Egypt. Okay, that's what it was called. Somebody pull that up. Who on a computer, man? Pull up the peopling of Egypt. I remember the name now. It's coming back to me.
And the decipherment of the Meretic script. That's it. I know about heart. Yeah.
You should have that on hand. I thought you got that on hand, don't you?
I do, but I'm driving down the street. Shit, I don't want to have that on hand and end up.
Don't do that.
Yeah, that'd be hell to explain to your insurance company. You're supposed to up the people in the Egypt. Hit a goddamn telephone.
I think they're gonna drop you.
You're not gonna get that motherfucking deductible. I'll tell you that. You're paying the whole shit.
They're not even covering you on that. They ain't even gonna cover you. Like, you gotta pay for everything on your own.
Yeah, everything. And you have to pay the state for fucking a good poll too.
Hey, y'all can type it in ChatGPT. What was the conclusion? Conclusionary statements made when they and the conclusion of the paper. You know what was the conclusion? What was they saying?
I halfway don't even trust ChatGPT no more.
I use a lot of perplexity.
I don't trust that motherfucker either. AI got to get better. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, all that shit gotta get better.
I think we in the infant stages arguing.
Yeah.
in the infant stages of this shit, arguing like a motherfucker.
You gotta go through all them sources.
Man, should I go to? I just go get the book if I gotta go do all that shit.
And y'all, and none of y'all got the book. And then there was a pushback in the book. That's a great book. Book 2.
What book y'all talking about?
It's a 9-volume set. And you know that they wrote that, you know, to complete the history of Africa, UNESCO. The first book was methodology. The second book was African civilizations. The blue one with Mukhtar. Mukhtar's in that motherfucker, yo. Something Mukhtar. Wishmacan made me read that shit. He was like, "Nigga, go read that shit. Go read Mukhtar's argument." I was like, "What?" Yeah. So I went and read the Mukhtar shit. Hey, what they fighting?
It was at Cairo, right?
Which one? The blue one.
It's for Cairo Symposium.
Yeah.
I gotta ask about Diop. There, they're not giving me nothing about that. When it comes to Diop, I'll ask it like that.
Oh, you can just go to the UNESCO website and get the document, or just type it up. The peopling of Egypt, and the decipherment of the Meretic script.
Hey, you're talking about African civilizations of, general history of Africa.
Oh, is that what it's called? Is that what that paper?
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, okay.
That's the name of the book, the general history of Africa.
You talking about G. Mukhtar?
Huh?
You talking about G. Mukhtar?
Yeah, Mukhtar. Yeah, he's the editor. He was actually the editor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You gotta read his introduction. Kills it. Yeah.
No, but I want to pull the paper up though, man, that we was reading, man, when they talked about their preparedness and all of that.
Yeah, that's right. Hold on, I'm gonna put it in the chat. Y'all gotta read this.
Yeah, I got it. Hold on. I'm gonna, share it real quick.
Because I tried to pull up the people in Egypt, and
the decipherment of the Meretic script.
You need the people in Egypt too.
Yeah, so that's the paper we took. They gave a critique or whatever, or they was talking about it as an aspect, I guess.
It's right there. It's the people of Egypt.
Oh, you put it in there? Okay.
You put it in there already?
Huh?
I said, did you put it in there already?
No, I'm driving. I ain't gonna put it in.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
I do know. Guess what? I do know they got
of what Mel got it.
You got Mel. I can put that in there. It's easy. Let's see.
I like the way like Logic hears shit. You know what I'm saying? So I just really wanted Logic to hear this reading. I don't think Logic is.
I'm listening.
Leading the witness, Corey.
Leading the witness. Yeah, we need a new witness.
You're leading the witness, Corey. Jackie on it, leading.
Yeah, that's
I want to hear your ears here, Logic.
It's all in the game, though. It's fair in the game. This court is a little bit different, you know what I mean? But I think somebody said they finna pull it up, though.
I think Mel will get it right.
Mel did pull it.
Actually, you know what's funny? Me and Unc actually talked about this not too long ago, and I'm gonna confess. I told him that y'all kind of got a point. Just, something in there ain't quite adding up, right? Somewhere between a black man on the Nile that ain't talking about black people, and So it's somewhere in there. It sounds like something ain't quite right. We gonna figure it out.
I got it.
I think I know why it ain't quite right, because the science community wasn't there yet. Y'all act like the science community was there. Y'all talking shit. Wasn't no consensus on the fucking race yet. The consensus was formed between 1974 and 1980, and then the modern synthesis is in the 90s. Y'all act like the shit was all settled. I'm trying to tell y'all need to do a deep dive on how consensus moved through science. Like, goddamn, yo, man, this is basic shit we gotta know before we start talking reckless, yo. It's crazy. I'm trying to tell you. Y'all sitting there thinking.
About?
Go ahead.
I mean, read. What do y'all want to read from it? I mean, I got it.
The
like
conclusion.
Is it? Oh, it's in the conclusion. Okay. I thought it was at the beginning or something.
No, not at all. It's in the conclusion.
And this is hold on. Make sure I got it right. The people of Egypt. Just and the deciphering out of Marathi script. Yes. That one, right?
Yeah. Go to the conclusion.
Go all the way to the site. Yeah. Right. You got to scroll way down. How many pages is this motherfucker, bro?
Yeah, it's a lot. Why you read the shit in sections?
Okay. Appendixes. Working paper for symposium. Next list of participants.
It won't even let me scroll.
Yeah, because I thought it had a goddamn table of contents. I don't see it though. Let me see.
Yeah, it's gonna be right before they get to the section dealing with the Meretic script. That's where it's gonna be at.
I gotta go somewhere.
Go to table contents and look for the Meretic script, because they talk about it. They were trying to decipher it. If you go there, then scroll up, you'll be.
I can see it on the side. Okay, the people in Egypt, but I see it. All right, boom, boom. Before the Meretic script. All right. So it's the last one right before that. So it says, turn left. Look at this bitch. Where it starts with study migration, says symposium on the people of HE. This is the last one.
Can you see it on 107?
Yeah, this is the last one before we get to
Oh yeah, 121. 121 symposium on the cipher.
Replaying, and we talking about it in here. We on fire, boy.
So it said, tell me what it says. It is desirable that the following studies be undertaken. That one?
Yeah, read that. Let's see what it says. Go ahead.
So it is desirable that the following studies be undertaken. The systematic archaeological study of the earliest period during which the Delta was inhabited. This operation might proceed by the analysis of a core sample taken from the soil of the Delta. The study and the dating of this geological core sample could be carried out simultaneously in Cairo and in Dakar. So a comparable inquiry in the regions of the Sahara near to Egypt and the Oasis. This inquiry should comprise the simultaneous study of rock drawings and paintings and all available archaeological materials. Here again, geological samples might be analyzed and dated at the same time. So it's a survey in the valley itself, comparable to which has been carried out in northern Nubia, which would be concerned with
that ain't it. Yeah, that ain't it.
Next one is linguistics, and then interdisciplinary and pluridisciplinary methodology.
Start with page 120, 121.
It's gonna literally say conclusion, yo. 121. Because they're gonna talk about how they send out communications to everybody. They're gonna mention Diaz, and they're gonna say, yo, it's a need for us to do this now. For us to really get this
Now you talking about system of analytical transcription? That's the Meretic text. That's page 21. I'm getting on my PDF. That's what I'm getting on my PDF. Let me try to look for the page number on here. See, that put like 121. Mel put me in the appendixes.
No. I mean in the actual.
Let me look at the page. No, I got it. Hold on. Look at the page. What the fuck that was it?
Hey Sosa, if you're on Google, the Google Drive or whatever, it's page 102 on Google Drive and page 98 of the actual book itself. It'll say general conclusion.
Yeah, because you said page 102 or 98. I'm gonna try that one.
It's 102 for the actual book. So the actual page number is 102. But when you're scrolling through Google Drive on the right hand side, it will say page.
There it is. It's a general conclusion.
Yeah, page 98 in Google Drive. So it'll be 98 of 129 in Google
I got
Drive.
it. Okay, boom, boom. I got it. 102, 102. Yeah, good. Appreciate that. All right, boom. General conclusions. Although the preparatory working paper, you know, I said, although the preparatory working paper
We got
sent
to
up by
mute on Kyle.
UNESCO.
He got background.
No, he's saying that's it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sent up by UNESCO gave particulars of what was desired. Not all participants had prepared communications comparable with the painstakingly researched contributions of Professor Sheikh Diop and Obenga. There was consequently a real lack of balance in the discussions. Nevertheless, for a number of reasons, discussions were very constructive in many cases. They clearly showed the importance of exchanging new scientific information. They brought home to almost all the participants the shortcomings of the methodological criteria which had hitherto been used in research. They drew attention to examples of new methodological approaches on the basis of which the question before the symposium could be studied in a more scientific manner. This first meeting should, in any case, be regarded as providing a basis for further international and interdisciplinary discussions, and as a starting point for further researches, which were clearly shown to be necessary. The large number of recommendations is a reflection of the desire of the symposium to suggest a future programmation. So as a future program of research. The symposium also enables specialists who had never previously had the opportunity of comparing and contrasting their points of view to discover other approaches to problems, other sources of information, and other lines of research than those to which they were accustomed. From this point of view, the symposium undeniably proved constructive. So you want to go to recommendations or then move?
I think it was the recommendations because I kind of vaguely remember that what you was reading, but that wasn't actually what
the recommendation just says symposium drew attention of UNESCO and other component bodies to follow the recommendation. So we got physical anthropology. It is desirable that an international inquiry be organized by UNESCO either by consulting universities in sufficient number of countries or by consulting individual experts of international repute, or alternatively by convening a symposium with a view to establish very precise standards on the strictest possible scientific principles for defining races. So they're still trying to define races for defining races and for identifying the racial type of exhumed skeletons. That the collaboration of the medical services of several UNESCO member states.
Hey, stick a pin real quick. So just wanted to highlight.
I know you want to
highlight. Yeah, because people were saying a week ago they were done with the race thing and they've been done with it since 1915, 1956, and so.
I got you, Hassan. I got you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna hit it one more time. I said, with the view established very precise standards on the strictest possible scientific principles for defining races and for identifying the racial type of exhumed skeletons.
Great point, Haskell. I meant to wade in on that. That's a great point. Logic say they had a paper in 1917. I was like, bro, just because a nigga write a paper don't mean it's a consensus yet. And I try to say science don't work that way. One nigga write a paper and they all aboard. That's not how it works. So the consensus on race from 1974 to 1980, it wasn't that's when they finally reached the fucking consensus. Now, after reaching consensus, you got to get everybody on board with the fucking consensus. It's right there for niggas to see. But go ahead, finish reading that. But Corey,
hold on. I ain't getting the part out.
I know. Corey like this ain't what I wanted, nigga.
It is what he wanted. It is.
You coming, Corey? You somewhere there. I don't know where you at.
Corey is right there when they say painstaking work put together because they had preparatory papers and Diop's and them prepared that shit and had all kind of shit. They was like, oh shit, we ain't even balancing this conversation because we don't know how to respond to this nigga. This nigga said 160,000 years on and now. We ain't ready for that answer.
Get to that point. You got to get to that part. Where that's at, You got to tell him
make a point. I'm just reading.
Go ahead, Chef. Go ahead.
No, you got to start over again. Corey no missed it, when he read. Right? He heard it was no balance. They said it was a lack of balance in the conversation.
Yeah,
said
he didn't read that yet. He didn't read that. He didn't read that.
I'll go back to it. Let him get it off. Let Chef get his shit off. Go ahead.
Yeah. So if that's the case, then Unc was arguing that UNESCO, and that's what we're reading, couldn't have been talking about race in 1974 because they had already made the statement in 1950 something after the Great War. So we was arguing that they did argue Diop on the race thing, and they understood it. They just said he was wrong. Do anybody see that?
I definitely see that.
No, that's one.
I'm meeting out.
No, you're right. Hey, Corey, I argued that, but that's
y'all
one
don't gotta.
No, that's one governing body, bro. That's not everybody, yo. That's their conference. They understand what race is.
So you
right?
saying he read that part already? You telling me?
You got to read it again.
My thing was like when they say they, I think the conversation was when we say they ain't black or white, they're saying that they don't fit black as a race
or white.
Construct, and they don't fit white as a social construct because it's a mixed multitude. And you can't call them black, you can't call them white. So they acknowledge the race because you can hear them in the language. You can hear them about what they're saying about race right now. So you already knew that they still in that little bag.
All right.
But, read the rest of that.
You gotta revise your statement on that, and then we can move forward.
Revise my statement on what? No, I don't got to revise my statement.
That UNESCO could have been arguing race in 1974.
They was arguing race. They was arguing race.
Okay, all right.
They was arguing race at the conference.
I'm gonna put them back in the now.
When it's convenience, yeah. That's what it's a convenience thing.
Yeah,
but
Corey, you have to talk about this part, Corey. You have to talk about this part, Corey.
No, you got different.
Corey, you had to talk about this part.
You got different governing bodies, yo. We don't recognize that, yo. That UNESCO, unto themselves, is a governing body, and in their governing body, they wrote the first 5 statements on race. Now, just because in their governing body, right, they have a clear picture, the overall scientific community wasn't at a consensus yet. I don't know why we don't understand that. Just because you're not at a consensus don't mean that people don't understand it.
Sosa got the piece though, right?
That gotta be a part. I think this part you gotta be talking about where the beginning said. Although the preparatory working paper sent out by UNESCO gave particulars of what was desired, right? That's talking about, Corey.
Yes,
not all participants.
Logic. Hold on. Let me get logic attention first.
You ready, Corey? You ready?
All right, you ready? Now listen to this logic. Go ahead, so.
Come on, man.
It says, although the preparatory working paper sent out by UNESCO gave particulars of what was desired, not all participants had prepared communications comparable with the painstakingly research contributions of Professor Sheikh Diop and Obenga. So there was consequently a real lack of balance in the discussions.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Just say the whole thing. Go ahead. Say the whole thing one more time. I ain't mean to interrupt.
Read the whole thing. Read the whole thing.
No, say that last part that you just read. Well, the whole part that you just read. Go ahead.
Well, there was consequently a real lack of balance in the discussions.
Yeah. No. Start the whole thing over. Like, go ahead.
Okay.
Because I want to get
Okay. Although the preparatory working paper sent out by UNESCO gave particulars of what was desired, not all participants had prepared communications comparable with the painstakingly research contributions of Professor Sheikh Diop and Obenga. There was consequently a real lack of balance in the discussions.
So right there, logic. Listen.
I'm gonna tell you before you even get started. It does sound like they.
Tell me what you got out of that.
It sounds like he dominated the conversation, right? We can at least get that he dominated the conversation out of it. So, him dominating the conversation don't have nothing to do with how right he is. He just wouldn't shut the hell up. That's dominating the conversation.
Oh man, y'all crazy as shit. That ain't what that said.
Well,
Definitely read
How
some
do you not
Let me tell you what I
look?
got out of
If
it.
you
They're
don't,
saying that he was over prepared. He
right,
ain't, nigga.
No,
Over prepared.
let me tell you what I got out of that.
Chef, that's what you got from that too?
I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna put it in front porch.
Man, y'all
I'm
brains,
gonna put
y'all
it in
brains
front
work.
porch
I got
thing.
the documented chat GPT,
The,
man.
the way how y'all brains work is very strange.
I'm
no,
gonna
it's
bring it to the
racist.
front
It's
porch.
racist, yo. They
ChatGPT ain't
racist,
gonna
yo.
bring it to the front porch. He
They
ain't
straight
gonna.
racist.
I'm gonna bring it to the front porch for y'all, right? This is
Straight
what they
racist.
saying.
racist.
This is what
he
they
deflecting
saying.
now, Chef.
They
God
saying,
dang.
hey, listen, Logic. This is what they saying. They saying, yo, we gave you the assignment, right? We gave everybody an assignment to do, right? A topic and an assignment. Now, I appreciate all of the painstaking work you niggas did, right? Because y'all did all this old extra shit that we wasn't even talking about, bro. It was a lack of balance. It was a lack of balance in the conversation. That's how I heard that. That's the way I heard it. Though.
Y'all crazy.
Yeah,
I
I kind of get some of that in there too, bro. Ain't nobody tell Diop to bring no goddamn Bible.
He
Bro.
done
So
brought,
they wasn't ready for that shit.
He brought his high school yearbook.
Well, he rather be
Can
goddamn
I tell you?
over. It's better be over prepared than
Hold on.
under
Can I
prepared.
say what it was?
Bro.
Can I
Come
tell you what
on,
I
man.
heard though? Okay, that's what you heard. That's what I heard.
He
What I
wasn't
heard
talking
was
about
these
the
niggas.
year. Come on, man. That's wild, man.
Hold on. Let me say what I heard. What I heard was that they had to prepare an abstract, right, for what they was going to bring, and when they came, they brought things from other disciplinary studies, yo. That's something that they wasn't there yet. They was like, why the fuck is you talking about African languages? Well, nigga, Egypt is in Africa, motherfucker. Oh shit, light bulb went off. Well, we gotta check that next time. Why did you bring this shit about early Homo sapiens on the Nile Valley? Oh shit, Egypt is on the Nile Valley. So they learned that, yo, we must hold on, yo, goddamn. So at the end of the day, if he continues to read, they will say, you're right, niggas. We need to look at this from an interdisciplinary study instead of just looking at it from one thing. That's what I got.
That's what I said. You
I
can't.
don't know, bro.
The word they chose to use was prolific, and you're describing.
No, that's what the words say. The words say
Hold
what
on.
I'm
Listen.
saying, man.
That's what I'm saying.
The word say painstaking, but you're
No,
describing
the word.
prolific.
You know what a painstaking is, nigga?
It's
Y'all had to
hard
really
work.
prepare this
He
shit together.
was working hard. He was doing a lot of hard work.
He did a lot.
He did a lot
Right.
of hard work.
He could have brought a little and been more impactful. Like that. Like you're
No, where you get the?
I'm telling you. I'm telling you where I'm getting it from. The word they use is painstaking.
Hey, y'all,
Yeah,
hold on, y'all.
that just means that.
y'all wild, man.
You say
It
you
just
have put
means
it in chat
it's a lot.
GPT.
It does not refer to how quality it is. It just says it's a lot.
We're not sticking to the.
Hold on. All you have to
y'all.
do is that's not the end of it. Like, there's more to read. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's gonna kill him.
Oh,
That's
it
gonna
get
kill him.
uglier. It get uglier.
It don't end right there. It don't end right there.
Yeah, they explain what happened. Go ahead and read that.
Look at Haskell get his point up.
That early Sosa, I said them
what I was
niggas don't know where they at.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is what I'm gonna say is actually speaking to what Brother Ankh is alluding to right now, is that if you read further down, if they were just merely kind of dismissing them as kind of being kind of just overdoing things and just being extra, then they wouldn't, how they write later on in the passage. They actually they're basically giving them credit for setting a new standard. It's almost like they're saying, like, whoa, wait a minute, we never even considered to have like such a interdisciplinary and detailed approach. We should look into incorporating this into a new paradigm insofar as how we, so yeah, but go ahead and read it. And I think they'll see that.
It says,
but
nevertheless,
that's at a conference that they do.
Nevertheless.
It wouldn't be
normal. No. You said what's he reading?
Nevertheless means something.
No.
When they have these conferences and symposiums, they coming in to get a more broader approach and put it back in its actual context. Like, that's the whole point. So
the
they
point
came there
is
to disagree on that. To agree on that.
No, but that's the point
No,
of the
no, no, no. At that conference, yo,
national
they you bring what you got. They didn't know.
1974.
They ain't know you
Just
could play.
let me read it. Just let me read
Hey,
it.
when they start out with
Nevertheless,
nevertheless, that's
this,
telling you something there. But go ahead, so
but this is another paragraph. It says, nevertheless, right? It says, nevertheless, for a number of reasons, the discussions were very constructive. It said in many cases, they clearly showed the importance of exchanging new scientific information. They brought home to almost all the participants the that's part. He said they brought home to almost all the participants the shortcomings of the methodological criteria which had hitherto been used in research. They drew attention to examples of new methodological approaches on the basis of which the question before the symposium could be studied in a more scientific manner. So it said this first meeting should in any case be regarded as providing a basis for further international and interdisciplinary discussion and as a starting point for further researches which were clearly shown to be necessary. You know what I'm saying? So the large number of recommendations as a reflection of the desire of the symposium to suggest a future program of research. The symposium also enabled specialists who had never previously had the opportunity of comparing and contrasting their points of view to discover other approaches to problems, other sources of information, other lines of research than those to which they were accustomed to. From the point of view, the symposium undeniably proved constructive. So that's credit. That's definitely credit to them.
So
yes. So they gave him some credit.
I got the table right
I'm
here,
never
bro.
saying they ain't giving them no credit. You know what I mean? Like
Comparison table.
And this is again, this is what I'm talking about when I get them emails, right? It sounds just like one of them. Like, especially when they use the word when they about to give him all his credit, they use the words, they start out with the words nevertheless. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like that's a telltale.
Yeah,
you know, they being as nice as I swear to God, though, that's the nicest way I ever heard somebody get shot down.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie
they-
to you, bro.
They
But
mentioned
Yeah, that's crazy as shit right
They
there.
mentioned,
That's
like,
why.
what do you
And now I
take-
see why I was arguing all the time.
but the first
what do you take
sentence,
from
the first
shortcomings,
sentence
though?
says it all. I mean, the first sentence says it all. They continue on to say, but nevertheless, it was
No, they
constructive.
moving. No, they
It
saying
was
because
constructive. These niggas done. I mean, I mean, it was kind of wild what the niggas.
Can we
did.
deal with the nevertheless? Can we deal with the nevertheless?
It was some nevertheless. It was some shit.
Do you know what that word was used for though? Let me see what your comprehension
go
is.
ahead.
The reason they said nevertheless, they saying although y'all niggas had all that shit, right? All those different disciplines, nevertheless, man, we still was able to have a constructive conversation, yo. Like this, what I do for real. I comprehend shit I read.
Okay,
yo.
fine. I
This
ain't
what I
mad
do
at
for
that.
real,
That's
yo.
not. I wouldn't argue with that. That's
wrong with that shit, nigga. I do that.
Nah, but
That's
I'm saying,
all I was
Corey, but why you ignore? They talk about.
No, I'm not ignoring that. I'm saying they did acknowledge. They said nevertheless, we got something out of this. That was the point.
What do you make of? Hold on.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
listen, y'all got to know how to read when
hold on, Corey.
Ahead.
To be fair to the people writing the review, right? They're not criticizing those guys for not being prepared because those guys basically went along with what was at the time the standard criteria. You feel what I'm saying? So they wasn't.
What they saying is,
hold on. Corey, hold on. Yeah, they were saying that. Remember when they said they sent out the memos or whatever that outlined like the different things they're looking for, et cetera,
right?
And what Diop and them did was they went past the mark and they introduced them some lines of research, right? Some other disciplines that previously weren't incorporated into how they did things, right? So it wasn't a critique on either party, but they were saying because of that, they were saying, because of that, there was an imbalance in the discussion. Nevertheless, even with that imbalance, even with that imbalance, there was still something constructive that came out of what we did.
No, so
and in the
if it was
future,
imbalanced in the
hold
way
on,
that
hold
y'all
on.
talking about, go ahead.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
put
because
that in
if
the
I'm
chat
bringing,
GPT.
it's just like if you are going to court, right, and they have discovery, right, and let's say the defense brought something that they didn't show the prosecution in discovery, and there's no way the prosecution can argue against it because you know what I'm saying? It's completely new information. So there's naturally going to be an imbalance there. But what it showed them is, in going forward, they were saying, okay, we had never even previously considered to even look at necessarily African languages or, this sort of stuff. But now that you bring it up, we do need to incorporate this to give this a more fully fleshed out, and we're going to incorporate that
more
going
scientific.
forward.
To make it more scientific is what they said.
Yeah, it was genius, yo. That I'm saying, and that's why
They raised the standard. They raised the standard.
I'm not arguing that. I'm not.
You know, they never even thought. Hold on, yo. Before that point, for the most part, they never even thought to compare Egypt to other African cultures. Yo, you do know that, right? They seriously, they was like, nah. They looked at them as being a whole unique thing in Africa. But when you really get into it, you start to see them niggas practice the juju, the sacrifice of animals, all that shit that you find in traditional Africa, yo. The shit lead to that. That's why I said I find it like I don't understand why people don't understand 22% Mesopotamian Levantine DNA to 88% North African DNA. The way they do their ceremonies is leads towards Africa. Y'all can study that. How do different cultures do certain things? It's a cultural context to Egypt that you understand it through an African context, yo. And that's always been they Africans, nigga. The way they read, the way they write, their typography, their glyphs. It's all in Africa. So now y'all trying to convince me that a whole different set of people come into Africa, use all their environment, practice the river culture. Like, come on, bro. Like that shit is just too much.
I want to know what Logic think about the nevertheless, though. When you heard the nevertheless there, Logic, right? I could tell you, Logic, like, bro, I could be more blunt than them. I could be like straight up an asshole, right? And just be like, Logic, look, Logic, I don't like the shoe. Like when we went to the club the other day, bro, I didn't like the shoes you had on. Like you embarrassed me, bro. Nevertheless, right? We
still cool.
We had a good time, and we, you know what I'm saying? Like I could be a lot more blunt.
I get the argument.
Hey, Logic, then everybody start wearing the shoes you had on. That's how crazy your shoes was. Hold on. Everybody decided to, hold on, I'm giving you an example. Based on what we read, I'm trying to apply what you're saying. You're basically saying that they was making fun of them, being very, trying to talk around the shit. But at the end of the day, we all start wearing them shoes that Logic had to the club. That's what you're basically trying to tell us. Because that's what they saying. They said at the end of the day, nigga, we start to see what y'all saying, and we want to start doing it the way y'all did that shit. That's what they saying.
No, they saying nevertheless.
Oh, come on, yo.
We're gonna start, but we can see how we need a more, diverse dress code in there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe everybody shouldn't wear penny loafers every week. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we do need, what I mean?
I would say
might need to change it up.
I would say they clearly looked at his approach as approach that like they thought that he was doing something tight, actually, right? But I think that the niceness comes from the stuff that they didn't agree with him that he was saying. But yeah, inside that, nevertheless, it does sound like we're moving in a different direction. Conversation. I totally get that. I totally get that. But you gotta at least admit that they gave Di. They gave him some props. They gave him some serious props.
They gave him some props. They did. But they wanted to put. You gotta give them some. You can't just listen. And
but what Corey is getting at.
I listen to the passages. Other than the nevertheless, I don't see where he's taking the L.
Hold on, real quick, because I think I understand what Corey is getting at. Right? He's saying that the thing that we're reading as credit he's basically saying he don't believe it's sincere. He believes they're kind of patronizing them when they say we're gonna. Hold on.
Go
when
ahead.
They say that, when they say going forward that we're gonna incorporate this and this is giving us a new way of looking at things and blah blah blah. Corey is basically saying that that's not sincere and that they're just doing that to patronize Dia.
Well, you can
Now,
Because
hold on.
Guess what they
Hold on.
did, Logic.
Hold on.
What they did.
Hold on. So now that we're clear on where exactly Corey stands, right? There's a way to test if what they were saying was
Absolutely, you're right. I'm so with Haskell. Haskell spit game.
You got to Haskell. Then that's when they die, Haskell, because they do all this shit Haskell talked about today.
Yeah, it's
right now.
You stole my thunder. You stole my thunder. So for what Corey to say to be true, to prove out whose hypothesis is right, we simply look at what happened after the conference. Did UNESCO start to incorporate more disciplines and lines of research? So then it wasn't insincere and they weren't patronizing.
Listen, and guess what they did? Let me tell you what they did, Logic. Is you listening, Logic?
I'm definitely listening.
What they did was they put some statues into it, not the big ones, the little, what you call the little ones, the little statues, or whatever, right?
The shoppies.
The little shoppies, right? They put little shoppies, Egyptian shoppies and West African shoppies next to each other in the museum. That's what they start incorporating from DI. See, this is what, to me,
what?
Yeah.
You don't know why they did that?
To me, that's wow.
That actually has nothing to do with putting.
Damn, Corey, that's it. That's all they did.
Hold on, but listen, we gotta flush that out. Flush that out. So
Go
we can
ahead.
get
Let's flush it out now.
Can I just make a statement on that before I get all confused?
Go ahead. I'm looking it up right now.
If you read the Met thing, they wasn't saying that the Egyptians was West African.
They simply said that.
Right. No, what they did say was that these motherfuckers on the other side of the continent, and they still have relevant content in art. You know what I'm saying? Like they still showing us that there's some type of cultural tie there. Like if it ain't no more than just continental, the way they do things, they do it in an African motif.
African perspective.
That's all they
looking at
saying.
things from an African perspective now.
Right. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And that was the genius of it. And that's all. And that's why I don't understand why niggas fighting anybody with molecules once they say it's an indigenous African thing. And you should know what an indigenous African, what that mean. That mean that don't mean that all your motherfucking markers is in Africa. It don't mean that. It mean that whatever occurred, any mixing didn't happen. Any type of culture that's living, it leads towards an African indigenous thing, yo. They, no matter where you think that some people came from, they still practice the indigenous religion, custom and tradition. They don't practice Mesopotamian custom and traditions, yo.
I got it right here. I typed in what
got that. I hope Logic
listen. I typed in
a table of responses from all the scholars. I don't know if that'll be helpful, but
we've been through it, but we can go through that too. I can't pull up on mine, but I typed up, right? So I just asked what they improved on since Job. And here's the one that they said so it says how it built on Job's contributions. So it said scientific interdisciplinarity. So UNESCO expanded the methodology to include genetics, archaeology, comparative linguistic, and anthropology. Fields Job had emphasized. These approaches validated the idea of a cultural continuity across Africa and reinforced Egypt's African roots. So they didn't just do that, Corey. They expanded it.
That was what they were saying. Like they talking about from a perspective of the Egypt thing, right? And so this is why the whole cultural continuity. I'm not saying that this is why they put the statues next to each other.
No, I'm saying that they added
continuity.
No,
in the
they
culture.
expanded.
Just what I'm saying.
Listen, they expanded the methodology to include genetics, archaeology, comparative linguistics, and anthropology. Field Job had emphasized.
So they weren't using like the cross fields
from the
and all
Egypt
that?
perspective, because
It wasn't
believe me,
used for that,
everything
yo.
is
No, they
That's
wasn't
what
even doing that. And this
that's
is
what
what
we're
makes
talking
me
about.
so mad.
I
It
don't
only
know, maybe
What make me
UNESCO wasn't doing it.
it
Maybe.
only
Go ahead.
confirms
Logic.
what I read in the second paragraph. So, like, I don't understand why we're still fighting. That's right.
Logic. You know what
Yeah,
infuriates me?
yeah.
You know what
Corey ain't gonna
infuriates me,
stop
Logic?
fighting, boy.
Hey, Logic. Where you at, Logic?
He don't even know he out on his feet. He just swinging.
Hey, Logic. You know what
Swinging away.
infuriates me, yo? That the conscious community will miss the most important thing that man brought. And all they can think of is the word Kemet mean black and he won. Nigga, you fucked it up. That's not what it is. The fact is this nigga was a genius and he changed the way the field see. It's his real contribution, my nigga. That's why I'm mad.
Man,
That's why I'm mad.
Oh wow.
I'm mad at
Now
that.
we gonna say
That's why I'm mad.
That's Nobel Prize winning achievement right there, bro.
I don't think
No,
that's
I don't know about all that, yo.
Man,
I don't know about all that.
boy, y'all so
It could be because it's new. It's new. He broke new ground.
If you
So
restate
yeah, he
the
could
whole,
have.
if you restate the
He
field
could have.
teacher
He could have. No, Corey is right. He broke new ground essentially in a field. So it could have been potentially Nobel Peace Prize winning stuff. But here's the
Science,
thing.
no.
No. Here's the thing.
Hold on. The Nobel Peace Prize, he would have had
Here's the thing, though. You would have had to what?
He would have had to use the interdisciplinary approaches and then present something new.
Right.
Then he would, you know what I'm saying? But just simply, it's not enough for a Nobel Peace Prize.
That's problematic if he didn't do something new.
Science wasn't
What they giving him credit for? Something ain't right.
Oh, Diop, y'all kidding me here.
You guys are. You can introduce. So he introduced a more interdisciplinary approach towards when it comes to African history in Egypt in particular, right? But things like let's say like the melanin dosage test, I don't think that was a complete. I don't think that was completely.
Man, well, listen. If they doing science, they got to.
So like the melanin dosage test, if that never existed before and he innovated that, then that would qualify for a Nobel Peace Prize. Like you have to bring.
Yeah, but I think it existed though to some degree for
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It existed before. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So even the things that he brought, the interdisciplinary approaches that he brought to this field, they're not completely novel. They're novel in the sense of being applied or being used in this sector.
I do see why.
So Diop came around. He came along and put it all in, like compiled it all into one folder. Like, is that? Because if it wasn't new, I'm trying to figure out like what was not necessarily significant about what he did, but what did he do that nobody else couldn't do if it was already like that?
It's not that he did anything that was somebody else couldn't do. It's just that he showed them like, yo, there's more things that we can add to this to make it more scientific and methodology. That's what it said in the paragraph. Like, I'm not even adding it. It said it in the paragraph.
Yeah, that's
I read it.
I ain't even mad at that. So
are you fighting back the words? It's crazy.
I'm trying to make a point to not fight on anything I just heard you read. Like I'm trying to ignore what I heard you say. It's tough. I don't like it, but I mean, just based off what he read, they kind of gave Diop they gave him a lot of respect.
Yeah, because I never read it. I never read it in
reverse to you, Logic. Even if I say it in
Does that
reverse.
matter if the nigga was wrong? Like,
what was he wrong about?
It does.
Well, let me hear Chef. I want to hear Chef.
The point that we talk about Diop is about the Black Egypt hypothesis, and he was wrong. That's the only thing that we care about Diop about in this community.
That's what you're saying.
We don't.
But Corey wasn't saying that.
We argue Black Egypt.
No,
right?
Corey was arguing something different.
If that's the point, I ain't talking about. I'm making my point.
That's what I'm saying. That's you.
Yeah,
that's you.
All right, fine. Whatever Corey talk, I'm saying from my perspective, it doesn't matter in the community that we argue this shit in. If we're talking about his overall contribution, right, then that's another argument. But the fact that we talk about Diop is because of the Black Egypt argument, and they said the nigga was wrong. So I don't care if he brought a million things to the fucking table. They said, nigga, your conclusion is
read that
fucking
part.
wrong.
Read that part where he said it was wrong. Find that in the document.
Why do we got with it? So y'all
And that's
arguing
the underlying
he
thing.
was right?
That's a good spray paint. That's some good
No,
spray.
I'm saying you claim that they said it. So why?
Corey wanted to go here.
Yeah, no, but Chef talking about something different. Chef already said he talking about something different than what Corey and them talking about.
I don't know where it's at. Y'all gotta show me.
Nevertheless, Chef, did you?
I ain't even listening to that because they're going to piggyback this onto
yeah, that
some
ain't
other
got
shit.
nothing.
You know what I
That
mean?
ain't
Like
got
the
nothing
nigga
to do
was
with
right.
Chef point.
He
Chef
was
making a
wrong.
Chef making a different point.
I don't know where.
Hey,
where do I
you
go?
about to argue some nonsense? Like
Look, Corey created art. Where do I go to find the other stuff? Like I don't know where to. Like that's my first time reading it.
No. Well, I know what Chef
Where
said.
do we? Like where do we find the critiques? Where they said like
maybe you could search the document and put in maybe they were neither black or white or something like that. And maybe
y'all doing some pseudo shit.
Maybe it'll go right. So
I posted a table of responses on every question.
Yeah, I told you said I can't when I try to pull it up, it ain't pulling up. Like
I put a screenshot in there now.
Can you somebody could someone read that, man? I'm trying to read these little words.
Hey, Chef. No, when somebody tell you nevertheless,
they're like, you guys got to zoom in. So
Chef, you know they run it. You know they run about 110 miles an hour, bro. You gotta slow them down. But they take
I
off,
want to
man.
know what Chef can get out of the word nevertheless. Chef, what you get out of
everybody's? I see sheet one is everybody's position. This is just their position. Like I see, like Sheikh Ant. That's what I'm reading for. Like it says, Sheikh Ant is Job, Black Africa is Negroid, linguistic connection to Africa strong, position on Egypt, Africa, cultural continuity very strong, key methods, physical anthropology and linguistics, and then general position summary, ancient Egyptian were Black Africans criticize Eurocentrism. But it just give me everybody's position on this one. Said like I don't see them critiquing. You know what I mean?
He was wrong on everything, but like, yo, you know what, bro?
Okay, we can see what.
Like,
but it's good though. You can see the arguments.
But we got something out of this because you was throwing shit up against the wall, and we see like, fine, that was wild, but we gonna add some shit to it too. Like, I don't know, man. Like, to me,
this is good though.
Nevertheless, just makes my point all together, man.
All right, but I see this though. We don't got that, but I can see we can see the arguments though. I see, so that's cool. So we got Sheikh Ant is over Theo Beck. This is on ethnic identity of ancient Egyptians. So you got Job and Obanga, Black Africans. You got Jean Vercotier, mix, Mediterranean plus Negroid. These are all the people. These are all the scholars that's there. You got Jean Haeno, predominantly African, Upper Egypt. You got Gabriel Camp.
Already on point.
You got Gabriel. Mixed Mediterranean plus Negro. Then you got Gabriel Camps, mixed North African plus Sub-Saharan. Then you got Jean Leclerc, cautious on ethnicity. Abu Bakri something Musa Lam, Black African. Then Ali Al Muzra endorsed Afghanization. Then Gut, likely mixed. YL Masri, Egyptian with African elements. Then somebody else unclear, and then somebody else is mixed Nile Valley rooted. This is just from the
those are the participating
participants, because some of them
but there's nothing. We're in the document and Chef referring to where UNESCO basically made a judgment as to Diop being wrong or whatever. That's what we need.
Are y'all serious? All right.
I don't know where. I don't know where.
I'm lying to
I mean, I know it's there, but I'm saying I know it's there, Chef. But I don't know where to go.
That,
Like,
that is a response because they when they put on the table
talk about that, bro.
They put on the table the African connection to the linguistics. Like you can see everybody's, they're saying like the results are inconclusive. It's possible, but it's inconclusive. Like they're reviewing something. It's not just their position.
Like where you seeing that?
The next line.
That's in the next part of the table, the second section. The same table.
Okay, position.
Like for you to acknowledge
position
the
summary. Like where you at? Because maybe I got a different. Cause I'm looking at sheet one.
It's the same table. It's the same table.
So I'm asking. You got linguistic connection to Africa, right? That's what you're talking about. Yeah, that's okay. So I read the first one.
That's what he's talking about. And then each participant gives their opinion on how strong a weak connection is.
Yeah, but is that their own? Or because
that's their own. That's each participant.
For them to give that response, they would have had to have reviewed something. They didn't just come in there with this idea. They would have to be.
So you're saying that
it's the table. It's not going to give you every detail of what they said. It's going to generalize it.
Just hold on, so we can get some more clarity. So you're saying like when they say linguistic connection to Africa and they say strong, that's how they're ranking D up. Like they're ranking shit ain't the joke.
No, it's not a rank. That's those participants.
No, that's where he stands with the.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, right. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So it's not necessarily
right.
So it's not it's their own. Yeah, it's just their own position.
What we're looking for, said.
After they review the evidence, I would think. I don't think this is prior.
No,
can I say something?
No.
Good.
Go ahead.
There's no line in that document that says he's wrong. However, they do have professors that make comments specifically on statements he made and show that they was wrong. So I'm gonna put it in ChatGPT. But the UNESCO report itself says the reporter notes that objections to Diop's ideas did not lead to a positive, fully argued counter conclusion during the meeting, and therefore the symposium was unable to make any clear recommendation on the question at this point. In other words, strong disagreement
made that up, man.
In other words, strong disagreement existed, but no formal verdict was issued. And I put that in the chat. There's no line in there that says it, but there's multiple places where scholars challenged it.
So Corey out on his feet. Corey's out on his feet and he's still fighting. Let's see if Chef gonna be silly enough to keep swinging his arms.
I never looked at this because I'm looking at their position on Egypt African cultural unity, and got Zope went very strong, Banga went strong, and then some people just acknowledge. You got Jean who just acknowledge influence, and then some people that do it Hyena or some shit got to acknowledge roots.
You got one dude who says like it's their own Egyptian thing separate from the rest of it,
Limited supporter, but be careful. Strong balance, firm ties, likely neutral, and then one of the regional uniqueness,
regional uniqueness.
Professor Abdallah from the Sudan says on the entirely Black Negro claim, it was going too far to generalize and say that this population was entirely Black or Negroid. Why should it not be accepted that there were also Caucasians and whites? And on his linguistics, he says that the examples were neither convincing nor conclusive, and it's hazardous to infer ethnic relations from such data. That's a professor from Sudan conference. You see, use the word hazardous.
Yeah. But that's a critique. But I just find the language is crazy to me. There's definitely some white. You said definitely some white people. What did he say? Read it again.
Just go to the wiki, clears it up. But
the language is wild. No, I'm saying, Brad,
still fighting.
Brad, read it again. Doesn't say the language.
Professor Abdallah Abdelgadir Abdallah from Sudan says on the entirely Black Negro claim, it was going too far to generalize and say that this population was entirely Black or Negroid. Why should it not be accepted that there was also Caucasians and whites? And on Diop's linguistics,
that was
on Diop's linguistics, it says the examples were neither convincing nor conclusive, and it was hazardous to infer
ethnic relations from such data, similarities were fortuitous and evidence better fit diffusion across Africa than a tight kinship with modern African languages. Haskell, I tagged you in the chat of what I got. So, because there was other professors that said shit too.
And dude gave a straw man argument. Diop wasn't arguing that it wasn't no white people in Egypt, or it was all black. Like, he was just saying that was the general population,
predominant.
Yeah, that was
I was looking at his language because he's like definitely was from Caucasian and some whites there. So I'm just saying, based on the language, you can tell where they are, just based on the nomenclature. There's some difference. Some white people there, some Caucasians. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
I mean,
but
can we get an admission?
Brother was a little bit dishonest there. I can
Chef,
at least point that out. Like
Chef said the wiki gives a clear answer, so I don't know if he could put that in the chat. As of right now, he knocked out. You know, he could revive himself and keep fighting, but so I don't know if he could put that wiki in the chat or what he referring to. But as of right now,
yeah, y'all don't went further than what I went. I don't read the sheet. I ain't never went this far in the shit. I just shit.
Who done read the whole 129 pages?
Doing. None of that. 1974.
Not gonna be able to do it.
I just hope Logic knows
when
somebody tell him nevertheless. You know, I hope he know what they mean when they say that to him.
I definitely said you got a point. I in my life I've never seen it used without it being followed by something negative. But I definitely get you.
No. Nevertheless is not necessarily an indictment. A nevertheless can follow a positive or a negative.
No.
I can say you came to the party dressed so fancy and nice.
It's what's said before the nevertheless, not
either way, you're separating the negative part of what you're saying from the positive part. Like it's somewhere in
That's
there.
what it is. That's exactly.
You're separating. You're bridging the gap in the conversation. But I'm saying, but nevertheless,
in this case, it is a negative, Sosa. But the negative is the imbalance in the amount of volume of information that Diop brought versus the other guys. So that still doesn't go to Corey's point.
Because what it could also mean is that a lot of information that you brought, we just weren't prepared to go over.
Right.
So we can't even come to. So we can't even come to. Yeah. So listen, you brought everything we needed. Great, we got that. But in terms of the other things you got, we don't even have the means to come to a conclusion on that right now.
Yeah, and I think Haskell's messing it up. When he's saying that. Oh, go ahead. I'll let you finish first.
I'm saying is like, okay, they're saying, okay, you brought more than you brought. No, they're saying you brought more than enough, right? More than we were actually expecting, more than asked for, right? So we're able to deal with, right? We weren't prepared to deal with the other things that you brought properly. We don't have that here. We can deal with what you have. So nevertheless, right? So that's what it's saying. Nevertheless, saying like
it was explaining that we gave out the assignment, and when you look at it even more, like he wasn't even bringing like what they asked him to bring, right? You know what I'm saying? So
that's not what it said.
That wasn't what it was. No,
that's not what it said, Corey. That's not what it said.
Listen, they did
not say he fell short of bringing what was required.
No.
They said he brought what he asked for and more.
They didn't say that in that sentence, but I think somewhere in the thing they described. I think it was somewhere else where they described how they were supposed to bring. This is why I'm even looking at the email, the comment like this, because they was describing. It was a scholar describing how they did give out the information to bring, and he brought everything but that. Like they gave if you look at his assignment, listen, if you look at his assignment and then what he brought, you're gonna be like, nah, bro, they wasn't even talking about what you talking about, bro. But I mean, they ain't gonna just. It's a scientific community, so what do you think? They just gonna come out and just shoot the nigga down like in plain English?
So here's how I'm seeing it, Haskell. Right, like I'm seeing that. Okay, so he brought a lot of research, but I think that you're thinking that this research is compiling up an argument about Egyptians being black, and that I'm definitely not getting that out of it. Right, so like even the stuff that he would have brought that was right. That was, that was wrong in
assignment, though.
Yeah, it doesn't even bring you to the conclusion that you wanted to on whatever you talking about. Like that wasn't even the assignment though, to be trying to prove whether the Egyptians was black though. That wasn't what he was supposed to be trying to prove, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So he blindsided him with that.
No. So I looked. So I'm just going like I'm going through y'all. So I asked.
I don't understand why y'all can't understand what the hell I'm saying, bro.
So
the assignment was not to be proven.
I'm not even going through it no more. We didn't go through this 10 times.
I'm doing this.
Logic. Listen.
Hold on. The
assignment was not for him to be proving whether the Egyptians was black or not. Do you understand that?
Hold on, Dan. I want to read.
How funny that is, yo.
Bro,
he showed up with the wrong shit.
Okay, well, hold on.
But
we gotta.
Shit.
And hold on. Then we have to figure out. I'm saying that we have to figure out where the disparity lies at, because, like I said, I'm going through this with y'all, and I'm typing the shit in the shit. The chat GPT.
I'm not listening to chat GPT. I'm not listening to chat GPT.
It's something different, because show me where to go to in the actual thing. Other than, because I'm gonna tell you like everybody else. I don't never. Listen. It said, I asked what was Shope supposed to bring to the first symposium that he failed to bring. It said excellent question.
No. That's the wrong question.
What do you want me to ask?
Just ask him what he was supposed to bring, not what he failed and all that. Just ask him.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
Ask what was he asked to bring that he did not.
Okay. What was
Joe? Y'all leading the witness.
Asked to bring to. I'm just gonna put the Cairo Symposium 1974. Is that good enough?
That's good enough right there.
All right.
That's all we gotta ask.
Nigga, y'all already know the basic shit, yo. What the hell's going on? They was on basic shit. Yeah,
just look at the title of the paper, bro. It was the Meroitic script and people in the Nile Valley.
Yeah, they ain't know they was gonna start bringing African languages and shit.
And they weren't conclusive on the Meroitic script, which I think they still had that issue today.
Can I?
Can
we read it? Can we read?
Did he bring anything for that?
Is the Egyptians black or not?
So
go ahead, man.
Yeah, so it's
that was a good question at the time, though. Don't y'all think that was a great question at the time, though?
Man, it's like y'all want to hear the response?
Go ahead, son.
Before you, like I said, you may want to hear the response before you end up looking silly, bro. You may want to listen first before you end up looking silly. So I asked it just like you ask it.
Go ahead.
It said, at the night, the official title of the people of ancient Egypt, the Cipher, it said, Sheikh Anajar was explicitly asked to bring scientific evidence to support the thesis the ancient Egyptian was a black African civilization.
There you go.
Oh, that's what they asked. That ain't what I thought he was.
You can't just be figured out now. We've been arguing. This is crazy.
Yeah,
so
and that's why
I thought we knew why Diop was there. I thought
why are we doing correct? Like I'm looking at the shit. I'm like, right. So it said he was asked to bring bones and skull and cranium, right? So he was more specifically cranial and skeletal remains from ancient Egyptian population he had studied in France. It says these were expected to provide physical anthropological evidence like cranial indices, facial morphologies, blah, 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 and that could scientifically confirm the African biological identity of the ancient Egyptian. So, like, yeah, and it said original data from its melanodosis test. That's what it asked. It said detailed linguistic tables and comparative analysis. Yeah, so he said what he didn't bring and why. He did not bring the skull because he was denied permission by the French authorities or the Muséum National d'Histoire Naturelle in Paris, where the remains were housed. The refusal is widely seen as politically motivated, given the controversy surrounding Job's work.
Oh shit.
So like I ain't even noticed. Like I said, I ain't even know all this, bro. I'm
I ain't
doing
know
this on
that
the
part.
first
I'll
time
be
right now
real
with
with you.
y'all.
I ain't know that
So
part.
niggas was arguing shit. They don't know the argument, yo. So I'm arguing with niggas that don't know the fucking argument. Man,
Oh, look at
shit,
her.
I'm
Look,
done.
he didn't know.
This is crazy, bro.
I'm fucking
This is
done.
crazy.
Yeah, I can't. You know what? You know what, yo? Hey, fellas. Hey, I apologize. You know what, yo? For my actions over the last 5 years, yo. I
You
actually
think Corey
apologize, y'all,
and
yo.
Logic reading none of that stuff? They don't care about that shit. Like,
Oh my gosh,
I
yo.
don't believe ChatGPT anyway. But
Corey, you gotta save yourself, bro.
What they call
Save yourself.
politics.
Why is it
Corey,
I don't know about because
the
what
oldest
they
statesman,
call
Because they didn't have that at the time. They didn't have nothing. No, they were trying to figure it out. So they were seeing who
as the
break who
elder
was.
statesman, I supposed to know better, yo. So I apologize.
Yeah, and as an elder statement, you supposed to know that this shit is all
and
your
it
fault.
said and it said why.
Yep. This
They
shit
said
is
why.
all your
Hold on.
fault. Hold on.
Let
This
me
is
finish the
Unc's
last.
fault. Hold on. Don't let Unc do that.
I
Because
want to
if
read
you've
it.
been teaching this shit for 5 fucking years, and these niggas ain't caught on to none of this actual shit,
they're not
the
interested.
majority of these niggas ain't even
Brad,
read it.
That's not it. We ain't
You
doing
need
that.
to
they're not
change some of
Doing
your
all that.
teaching style.
They're not
That's
interested.
all.
We're not gonna
You
act
ain't
like
doing all
Nick.
that.
We're not gonna act like somebody is an authority over the fucking Cairo Symposium. Not the fuck up. Nobody in here is an authority over that goddamn paper.
Yeah,
Stop
but
it.
Corey's
We
not
didn't read the
like
motherfucker. We didn't read it.
Corey.
No, we're gonna act
Brad,
like when you argue, you should
hey
know the fuck
Brad,
you arguing over, yo.
hey Brad,
I've been,
you
it's
familiar
pseudo-science. Hold
with
on.
this
I
term
distinctly,
in politics?
I distinctly heard Sosa say he ain't even read the shit. So at the end of the day, it ain't just people that ain't around you. You've been talking about this all this time, and ain't nobody paying no fucking
I mean,
attention.
it's 129 pages though, Brad.
No,
So,
No,
nobody
I ain't
care,
talking
yo.
about the document,
No.
but he been saying this. Y'all watch on every goddamn day, post links, put shit in other discords, advertise, moderate, and be on the panels, and y'all don't even know what the fuck the person he talking about is talking about.
But I told you it's a political conversation started in Egypt. I told you that.
It's me, and I ain't seen one show on the shit.
I'm trying to tell
Hold
you,
on,
you
that
didn't know
part
either.
Sosa just read. I ain't never heard not one nigga in this community say that part.
read that again. Read that
Right.
again.
So y'all never read the book African Origins. Whoa. So y'all never read the book African. Hold on. So y'all never read the book African Origin Civilization, and he show you the fucking skulls, man. What the fuck is we talking about, man? I thought y'all niggas read the fucking book.
You got to
I ain't got no wait. No, I'm saying the way everybody. No. Listen, y'all match me. Listen. Y'all match me. Listen, yo. Let me make this point. I'm not saying we supposed to know everything, but I'm saying the level at which y'all stick your chests out. I stick my chest out for a reason. I stick it out because I know I'm familiar with the material. At least that little bit of shit.
You gotta know.
And y'all stick your chest out and make intelligent. Y'all make intelligent arguments. Y'all sound good to everybody. Only for me to find out that y'all niggas ain't read none of that shit.
Bruh,
let me
This is cat.
I know it's cat. Right. Now we're gonna say cat. Hold on, wait.
Just as much as everybody else.
Now we're gonna say cat. Watch this. You didn't know that
One
the
night.
You didn't know that.
You going off on a
everybody
tangent.
pause.
You going off on a tangent. I didn't say you capping. I'm saying the niggas that you talking to with their chests out, talking all this shit, been capping. That's what I'm saying.
Let's get back to it.
You don't even know what's in the document, Corey, but you
I read a little bit of it. Let's get back to it.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
We never make that argument.
Why you never make this argument?
Hey, I'm learning.
This
I'm learning.
5 years ago. He never made that argument.
Hold on, could he read it again?
Nigga, we
Sosa, I
y'all said
missed
it was pseudo.
it.
Me and Double X
Yeah,
argued over
it.
cranial shit. Nigga called it pseudo. I was like, yeah, yo, but that shit, that nigga down pseudo. Nigga, he said that out as fuck. You know, y'all, you know what, yo? You know what? I'm not even gonna get upset.
Too
That's
late,
why
bro.
I'm calling
Don't get upset, bro.
I'm
Hey,
calling
you put that in the
I'm
Did you put that
calling
in
that.
funny. I'm gonna let you
Because
know
I
that's
missed
funny,
it.
yo.
You
say I'm
Put that in the chat.
Am I overwhelming?
Let me read the caveat because it was saying why this was important. I need to see the shit about the Bible shit because he was saying like UNESCO convened the symposium to settle on scientific ground debates about the ethnic identity of ancient Egyptians. So it said Job had long challenged the Eurocentric and Hermetic hypothesis that denied Egyptians African identity. So to be taken seriously by a broad international scholarly audience, he was asked to bring material testable evidence, not just historical or cultural argument. Then he get to why he couldn't bring the skull so forth. But he stated that at the symposium, like I could not bring the bone, but he said, but they're available for examination by any qualified researcher, blah blah blah. He said he made that plea at the symposium. So maybe there's some reason why he brought the Bible. I don't.
Hey, Sosa, you just said it, Sosa. You just said it, my nigga.
They're not listening
That's
to
what
you.
I thought. Niggas tried to laugh me out the room 10 minutes ago when I said the reason, but I wasn't fucking no America. Man, fuck this shit, man.
Yeah, so the only thing he was asked to bring, the only thing.
All right, come on, relax.
So
listen.
Nigga asked me, well, why do you think the nigga brought the Bible? I said because he was going against Hermetic hypothesis. No, man, and it sounded real good. See that nigga just read that right there. Yeah, all right, okay. I'm not doing this.
Just so everybody can listen. Just so everybody can know going forward, it said only thing he didn't bring was the bones, but he considered everything else. He brought everything else that he was supposed to bring. He just didn't bring the bones.
They wanted this nigga to be a super nigga. Bring every goddamn thing.
Man, it's the age old thing, yo. You black nigga, you better not show me that motherfucking half top.
What you say all the time, Brass, we gotta be twice as good, right?
That's the truth.
That's what that is.
Let him run off with Diops on y'all.
That's the truth. No. That's the truth.
Man, we ran with Diop.
Y'all should
have got off the court, Corey. Y'all should have got off the court, Corey.
Now I know now. Now I figured it out.
You deserve it, though.
I figured it out now.
Exactly. Y'all was up 20. Y'all was up 20. And you go ahead, you pull the starters out. Go take the starters out and put the bench in. Now you know.
Hey, but so when y'all do y'all scholarship on shit like this, right? Y'all do know that damn near everybody in this chat an hour ago when y'all started this conversation all said they never read it. So if they are sticking their chest out, you should have known that shit from the beginning. They haven't even read the document.
Well, they never read the
whole thing. We read the document that we was talking about.
It's long. It's long.
Yeah. It's 129 pages. You read that document?
No, we ain't read the whole document.
No, we ain't read the whole.
We read
then you ain't read the document, boy.
The part that Sosa is reading is not in the documents.
No, I'm talking about that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that people in the Egypt. I've been listening to y'all for about an hour and 30 minutes. I ain't said nothing. I just heard multiple times people literally quoting shit and saying this something is wrong, and saying you got to actually read the whole thing, and niggas saying I ain't read it. That's all.
No, we read that. We did. We all read that a million times though. That's why I brought it up.
The little part. It's
been a long time.
Yeah, you're talking about the little part. Hold on. Oh, you're talking about the little part, but what I'm saying is that people in the Egypt document that Mel put in there, y'all was talking shit about that document also, and y'all haven't read the document. We have some of these shit is different because we're doing ChatGPT, but some of this, I don't know. I'm killing niggas. I ain't read none of Francis.
You gotta understand, bro. Like,
hey, Brass, ain't nobody read it. Brass, you hear me say, Brass? The niggas that's shooting for black Egypt ain't even read the shit.
Right quick, Brass, in politics, what a rabble rouser is, of course, right?
Yes.
So I'm just got to risk. Sometimes niggas just rabble rousing, man. You can't take it serious.
No, and you know what? And that's when I realized it like 2 minutes ago. I said, yo, I'm way too sick. I take this shit way too serious. I'm thinking niggas is looking in the back of the book saying that the nigga was using real scholarly sources. I'm thinking that. I realized the niggas don't even own the book.
If you think
I realized you don't even own the no, yo. I thought you at least look in the back of the book because here's the rule though, Corey. You look in the back of the book to see what type of sources a nigga using and whether you should even fuck with the nigga from the beginning, yo. That, you know what I'm saying? That we learned that way, yo. Like, okay, let me see if you're serious.
But they're not saying the sources was good though, or he was right though, or nothing like that. Bro.
No, why you keep running to that?
The argument where I was wrong at Brass is, and what I didn't know, Brass, is that his assignment was prove that the Egyptians was black. I didn't know that. I thought they were there to talk about the Meridic script and shit like that.
Okay,
that was my.
Hey, Brass. Where you at, Brass?
I'm ready. That's crazy.
Listen to what I'm saying, Brass.
That's crazy.
I want you to know that at scientific conferences, there is no such thing as a winner and a loser. Let's get that straight.
Okay,
right.
It's where they compile. Let me just finish my point. They compile. They have lively discussions. They compile data, and then they will release a publication on the conference. That's why I said book 2 is the information that they compiled, and it took them 7 years, my nigga. So I'm thinking everybody know this. That's what I'm thinking in my mind.
I get what you're saying.
Know this, right?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
All right, I got my client on the shit. Now I can respond.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. There's no confusion in what you're saying. I'm just saying they told you numerous times that they didn't read it. You still talking
to read it, Brad.
You saying that
the war is over. Down about 160,000. What that got to do with anything?
Hey, Chef, you that nigga in Vietnam still in the trench, man. The war over with, man. Go home, bro.
So what did y'all establish?
Go home, Chef. The war over with, dog.
I don't know about that shit. That the Egyptians was black. What are we saying?
We're saying that Diop never was not. He never was none of this shit that everybody's saying it was. Because niggas ain't know what the fucking scientific conference was. He wasn't vindicated nor unvindicated. As a matter of fact, y'all mischaracterized the nigga. That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
Total mischaracterization.
So what is it? So they was black and Negro.
Nah, man, you doing that on purpose. I'm gonna get out on that one. Hey, so come out of here. Y'all gonna holler at y'all.
No. Yo, don't leave them on, bro. Bunch of hooping and hollering, and we heard.
You should leave. They're not taking the discussion seriously. They gaslighting and shit.
He already left.
Yeah, he good. He did it right there.
He heard. Hey, no. What happened was
what made him leave?
I was recording.
Y'all playing games.
Nope.
No. You gotta know when people gaslight you can just leave it alone. So he did right.
Don't worry, I got this whole thing. This is
this
shit is going up.
Like when a nigga asks you, did it say that you was black?
But he was right though. He was. It's not like he was wrong. I think he just didn't want to be on some upset shit. I think that's what it was. Like yelling and screaming and shit.
Hold on, he started yelling and screaming. He was the one yelling and screaming.
I don't know, Chef. I don't know.
No, he was already the one yelling and screaming.
Chef, you already said when you gotta remember this, bro.
Y'all, the damn Cairo Symposium is close to Unc Hart. We know that. It's like talking about the Bible to a Christian. Unc fought tooth and nail about this goddamn Cairo Symposium, Chef. So you know he probably gonna start yelling.
I agree.
No, it ain't about the yelling. He just was like, he up. That's why he did. Like, he up. Like,
hold on. So
okay. That makes sense. Take my ball and go home. Win the game. Hey, let's play again, nigga.
What was proved?
Nah, you got to sit on that. That's what the ball falls.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Now I like that fighting style.
Yeah,
so
Chef want to run it back.
That's why I
was saying.
What did they call it?
He was trying to theorize why you left.
Let Uncle Chef square up. Let Uncle Chef square up one time.
That's all you got out of that is the Egyptians not black, yo.
No, hold on. Before you start talking, what was just proved? That hasn't been that we haven't came to so you're saying me and you haven't came to a conclusion about the Cairo Symposium and Diop. You saying now everything that me and you talked about is thrown out because of something Corey just said.
No. You argue with me about the 160,000 years. You argue with me about the race. Listen, what I'm saying. No, all this is in the day, bro. You argue. Right, I'm saying this was our long-standing arguments. So the real argument ain't whether these Egyptians are black or not. The real argument, what was the man's contribution? And if he did have a serious contribution like that, then why the fuck is y'all putting dirt on the nigga name then? If
that wasn't Chef's really argument though. Chef arguing the black thing. Corey was arguing the contribution.
Nobody argued that Diop had
the only reason Diop came up. Yeah, the only reason we argued Diop because of his racial classification and that he was promoting Black Egypt. That's what we've been arguing for 5 years.
Yeah.
So now is Diop contribution. This, bro, we was arguing.
Man, because we don't argue.
Smashing them about what was this whole kerfuffle about? It was about Diop contribution overall. Oh, okay, good. Yeah. If y'all believe that shit, you know what I mean? Then
no.
Everybody on here was fucking confused.
But listen, Chef, I made the statement that Diop wasn't supposed to be his assignment to prove whether the Egyptians was black or not. Right? I said that. And that's what was proven wrong.
No, you all know.
I didn't know.
Chef and Corey, they arguing different things.
They argue different things, and Chef is highlighting the point that never got through. Right?
That's the point. That was the whole point we was always talking about.
Not me, nigga. It was never up in the air to me on whether he got that part right.
It was the Black Egypt debate.
You be talking about me, yo. What side was I on, yo? You
no?
Okay,
I don't know. I've been said I don't know what the fuck you saying.
Right, that's
you know what I mean?
There you go. There you go.
But I'm honest. So
let me tell you what I've always said. That the nigga introduced having to bring an interdisciplinary studies. Of course, y'all forgot that. Go back and listen to the show. I also said was he made them motherfuckers put Egypt in his African context. I said that is his fucking contribution. Y'all said I don't believe you, nigga. They black. That's what y'all did to me. It's on the first show y'all did that shit to me. So that's why now when I realize y'all niggas ain't read shit, then I don't even know why I got mad like that, yo. So I'm a tap out why I'm a
hey, so but that part right there is cap, like bro.
And I'm a tap out.
You ain't read nothing more than
I ain't read it. Okay, thank you. I ain't read it. But I tell you what, since I didn't read it, I got enough sense to use the tool that y'all niggas got and make sure I read it and understood it. Now, how about that? Y'all got the tool. Your man Hits gave it to you. You niggas don't use it. Now, that's how smart I am. I use this shit that somebody in your group got. Yeah. After I read the motherfucker.
All right, so cool. So that's cool.
Read don't mean word for word. It mean I got natural reader, nigga. So while I'm in my car, I'm listening to the Cairo Symposium. I thought y'all niggas did that before y'all start talking shit. But I realized y'all didn't.
I listened to a lot of books, but not Cairo Symposium.
Thank you. So don't put it in mark. Don't call me cap because y'all niggas ain't using technology to get through the situation. Y'all niggas just happen. I would never stick my chest out that far, not even knowing the basic argument. Y'all crazy as shit to let me get y'all like that. Come on, man. Nah, yo, I'm done. I don't gotta be mad no more, yo. It's crazy. I was mad for nothing. That's like being mad at Smash. That nigga says his work. Once the nigga says his work, we already know it ain't been through the academic scrutiny. He's just a fucking nut at that point. I'm keeping arguing with that nigga for. I ain't doing it, yo. I mean, it was a lively conversation, all right? In the discourse. Clear disbalance and imbalance.
Yeah, but was they black though?
Family.
Right.
I ain't never said they was black. Y'all niggas ain't felt the video with me saying it yet. Nigga, I ain't said shit. Nigga, I ain't said that.
But that was Diop's argument.
So
They
what?
called themselves black.
So what?
Shit,
And now
we
here
go.
come Reggie. Now here come Reggie. Before you do that, Reggie, and I respect that, Reggie. But before you do that, right? The point of the matter, while Unc feels vindicated right now, is always been irrelevant to me because the argument was over Black Egypt and what he proposed, Diop proposed at the symposium about them being Black. Now, if
that wasn't my argument. That wasn't my argument.
If he didn't prove that, then I'm saying all the rest of that shit is I can accept.
I know, but how would he prove it at a conference that's not meant to prove shit? It's a scientific conference, yo. You present your arguments. You just gotta prove a win or lose.
You just said he was meant to prove that. That's what the conference was for.
No, he okay, I know. What's up, Reggie? How you doing, brother? You all right?
That's why I get confused.
Hey, Reggie, you all right, bro?
I'm confused as fuck now.
Hey, Reggie, you all right, bro?
Yeah, you was right about that part. You gotta keep your win. You gotta keep your win.
Hey, Reggie, you hear me?
Didn't prove what he set out to prove.
I'm not feeding into it. Hey, Reggie, they sitting over here thinking a scientific conference is where a nigga score a victory. That's what the conscious community pointed out.
No, it's if he right or wrong.
Right.
A victory.
But like Ankh said, they don't make determinations like that at scientific conferences, and he's right.
Did make the determination.
But Unc knows that we didn't read all the way up to they were still writing rebuttals and papers on a Cairo Symposium 1974 all the way up into the 90s, right? They were still compiling the information. So that shit didn't stop at 1974. These motherfuckers were still compiling their information and writing all the way up into the 90s. And
glad to see you on my side. I'm glad to see you on my side with that, Chef. Appreciate that.
Yeah, so I've been up on it. And none of them, he didn't prove his point about them being fucking Negroes and Black. That was the whole point of me reading the shit.
But how could he prove they was Negroes when there ain't no race? That's a racial construct. So how was he ever gonna prove it?
Well, they let him make his argument.
Right.
They didn't say you can't make that argument because there ain't no such thing as race.
Chef's point is that that's what he was attempting to do. You can't ignore that.
No, that wasn't the only thing he was attempting to do, though.
No.
That was the point.
It is not. Y'all made that up, yo. God.
No, but he was trying to prove
that's the whole argument you just had with me.
He was trying to prove that they're Negroid.
I said that was not the only point, bro.
Doesn't matter. That's the point that we was arguing. The Black Egyptian hypothesis. The Black Egyptian hypothesis.
Arguing that they was
y'all gonna let Unc tell y'all.
He used the word Negroid. Don't do that.
Come on, yo.
No, I said that wasn't the only. I know y'all hear me except.
But what was in this community, right? What we've been arguing is the Black Egypt. So,
not me.
Telling you,
not me.
Not in that argument.
Not me.
So then you're fucking the conversation.
I'm not. I've been arguing for the Africanists.
Go over.
I don't know why you arguing whether
y'all don't want to tell the truth.
Go argue with.
Hey, you know we can tell the truth right here, right? You know that first video, that first conversation is right there for y'all to look at. Right. Y'all know that, right? So we don't got to argue that.
But
you gotta get. You still ain't never.
And what was I saying?
You still ain't never.
You said in the beginning of that argument that when you say Black, you mean African.
Not true. Not true. Not true. I'm saying that statement. What you just said is not true. Hold on.
Argument. Oh my God!
Hey, yo, you use that. You weaponizing that statement right now.
Yeah,
I wouldn't weaponize that statement like that. That's called weaponizing the statement.
So I don't know what you meant, right? I'm not in your brain.
No. Hold on. Hey, Stephen, what I'm saying is we were talking about a specific video. I was specifically talking about the video where me and Double X kicked this shit off. And I was arguing for the Africanness of the Egyptian. And he was saying, nigga, they not African. Nigga, North is not. That was not, it never was they was Black. I said, X, I'm not saying they Black, nigga. Well, I don't believe you. I said they African. That's what I said. I said, yo, the source I'm using clearly says it's a social construct. So how can I be using the source and go against the source? Right? Now, then you bring up a video when I say I was talking about Dr. Benham and what they meant. Right? So I say, all right, bet. I said, you know what? In the very next sentence, what I said was, you know what? You right. So that means when a nigga say you right, then be right. I say, yo, I will never say that again. It's very confusing. But no, you still bring it up. That's fine. But you're weaponizing now because I said you right, my nigga. That is confusion. Let's get this straight. So at that point, I was making my argument even better for the Africanness of it. That's all, bro. So you can't knock me for that. Jesus
I'm
Christ.
not knocking you. I'm not knocking you for it, right? But what I'm saying is, so now repeat what you have said in that statement, the complete statement. It goes to what you. It goes to what you. You said when you say black, you mean African, and you said I'm not going. It's a confusing statement, so I'm not going to do it no more.
African, black, the two is not synonymous. Y'all had to realize that it's not.
Jesus Christ.
No, yo, that's what I'm saying. Nigga have a conversation and say something and be wrong.
Listen, so exactly.
It's not synonymous,
I think
though.
you got to know when you won, Chef.
No.
He said he said he had to realize that. You didn't hear that.
But I'm not trying to win. I'm just I'm saying either I don't understand your English. You dig what I'm saying? And I can't get into your brain. I can't get into your brain. But if you say to any normal person, when I say black, I mean African, then that means that you was making those two synonymous.
I'm saying you made that up. You can't even find that clip now.
Oh my God.
The clip you will find is us talking about Dr. Benham, what the fuck they meant. That's what we was
No, you said what
saying
you
black
said.
African, nigga.
You said
Black
you said when I don't mean Dr. Benedict. I means
No, it was in the whole context. Don't split the sentence in half. It's craziness. Why split the sentence in half? Why split the whole idea in half? Had a whole thing, and then I came around and said, "All right, you right, nigga.
You right. That's what. So
right.
I'm
said
saying
right because that shit don't make no. I said you're right. It does. I said it's not. Doesn't make any sense. Because I'm not trying to say the niggas is black at all. Because that's a social construct. But they was arguing for black Africa, which are not synonymous with Africa. Africa and black is not synonymous. So I had to really, we in the middle of a high heated argument. Nigga, I'm gonna say shit that's wrong. Y'all niggas do it all the time. At least I read this shit. Y'all ain't even read this shit. So I'll take that. I've been said that.
Right.
But guess what? That's the only time y'all niggas ever heard me say that though. And 2 seconds later, I corrected it. Come on, give me that double saying, nigga, you mean they black. I say, no, I don't. I said they African. But when you said every minute, I say, no, I don't.
You said you did.
No, I didn't. Yo, that's a whole nother thing. Get out of here, yo. You tripping. Man, you bugged out. All right.
When
I ain't mad at yo. You got that. So you got that, yo. What you want me to say,
I
yo?
say black, I
now
mean
what?
African.
I know. So now what? So what you saying now? So where that's at now?
Right. So if you're not saying that no more, I
couldn't
agree
have said
with
it no more because I said that shit was incoherent in the same fucking on the same video. So do you mean to tell me you don't realize when you get shit wrong in the middle of a conversation?
Yeah.
It was a bad statement, nigga, and I admitted it. I said you're right. I said it's confusion.
Right, but you went to what you meant.
I know I didn't. Once a nigga say the statement is incoherent, then take him at his word, yo.
Right.
Why
But you
to
said
me then, yo?
You said when I mean it's irrelevant at this point.
It's not irrelevant.
Back to D.I.
I don't have to run for that statement though, Chef. I don't gotta run for that statement, Chef.
I'm not gonna keep saying what you meant or what you find. That's irrelevant. I'm talking about D.I. You can't make your statement that you feel now with D.I. because we have his complete argument. We have his complete argument.
So what's his argument?
That the motherfuckers was motherfucking Negro and black. That's what he argued. You feel me? Like so.
So what else did he argue? Who cares?
Who cares? He argued a lot of stuff. Who cares?
No, he argued for the panel to look at the Egyptians in the African context. He also said they was African, yo.
That's good. And I give him props for that. I give him props for that.
And that's the only thing the niggas give him props for. That's what he get the props for, yo.
No. So
yeah, did he look at this shit in this African context, yo? Not too many niggas was doing that though, yo.
Yeah, most people didn't even realize that the North Africans were indigenous at that time. So that's not what even I probably even in 1974 that thing was hard to understand. You dig what I'm saying? Right. So we know clearly what he meant. You feel me? When he meant African. So even the African part that you can say is all those people, that's not what he meant. Do you agree with that? So even his African part is kind of sketchy because we knew what he meant by African. He was explicit in that. So your African meaning all those Berber types and this, that, and the third, the current phenotypes in Egypt, all that, that's not what he meant at that time. So even his African part is kind of sketchy. You dig what I'm saying? Let's just really deal with Diop.
Says Sheffrin.
I'm listening.
I didn't read the shit. Says Sheffrin say that.
I'm listening.
That's your
Go
shit.
Ahead. Expound on that.
Yeah, go get that source to say what you just said. Just like
expound,
that.
Expound on that.
Your idea. No, I'm making sure it ain't just your idea because you ain't even read the goddamn thing. Remember?
He said they was Negro and black.
That's the word Negro mean.
Didn't he?
That's the word Negro mean. That's the word Negro mean, ain't it?
Yeah.
No, Negro is sub-Saharan. And West African, which is sub-Saharan. That's
hey Reggie, you ain't hear me, Reggie.
I heard you.
You want to answer me?
So he said that they were sub-Saharan.
I answered you. They was talking over.
I'm saying you're all right.
Yeah, I'm all right. I just lost my phone last Thursday.
Okay, all right, bro. So I ain't know. Y'all, I thought something happened to your motherfucking land. So emails and everything. Okay, you right. All right, no problem.
I've been on a couple of shows. I just not been dealing with the phone, and that's okay. But I'll get a phone in the next 3 days. I ordered a phone, and it didn't work with T-Mobile, so I ordered another phone because that didn't work. But I'm not so sure the new phone's gonna work with T-Mobile. I ordered an unlocked phone. And then that may not work with T-Mobile, and so if that doesn't work, then I'll order a T-Mobile phone. So I am missing some valuable phone calls, like from you and stuff. But I'm listen. I grew up in the 70s and 80s, so I'm okay. If people want to get in touch with me, they can email me and stuff like that. But I did email you. I did email you.
So but go ahead, speak to Chef Point. That's a good point. You're talking about Sub-Saharan, but go ahead.
Listen, Diop was arguing in 1974 with the terminology that they was using in 1974. So there's going to be some problematics and some confusion. So now we're in 2025. That's a whole lot of years, a whole lot of science in between. So we could discard some of the things that Dr. Diop made that is confusing, and we can go on to the fact that we actually know more about North Africa now. And the clines, not the racial categories. We shouldn't be using that. We should be using clines, right? And clines are attributes, and whether that is nose structure, lip structure, teeth structure, any structure, skin color, right? Fine. It's the Europeans that put certain people in the category of Negro, right? So now we have better ways in which to think about this now, and I think that we should use the new terminology. Dark skin,
I agree.
And does not necessarily whatever black is. Dark skin doesn't make you black, right? Black is a thing for people that say that they are black, and other people who call people black, right? It's a cultural thing. But the issue is about the whole package: dark skin, nose, cranial, teeth, morphology, um, those skeleton frames and things like that. And did these groups meet, or were they distinct? So we have a whole new package to deal with, and if we keep dragging in old stuff, it's not relevant. It's really not relevant, right? Uh, all hypotheses were what they were, and they either succeed or fail into theories, and then theories are tested. And so, what people might have said without the new studies, people can change with the new studies. So changes with the new studies. But y'all continuously arguing against Diop in 1974, and then you should look at Diop and UNESCO in 85 or 84 with the Libya antique, and he might have still been using old terminology. Now we got whole new terminology. So can we move to the new terminology?
No. We're arguing. We're arguing with Diop meant in 1974.
Right, that's old information. We have
we're talking about
whole new science.
That
we have whole new science.
Okay, well then we could talk about that at some other time. And I don't even care past Diop, honestly. You feel me? Like,
why don't you care? That's because you got a dead argument.
No,
you have
because
a dead argument, you don't want to
once the Egyptians wasn't black, it don't matter no fucking more to me.
What black and what? Black
Joe was arguing black African. He said it, black African.
Right.
Replacement for sub-Saharan African.
Right.
Negroid type. Negroid, you know what I'm saying? Negroid.
Okay, Negro is a fake term. Okay, so that you already
tell Diop that, dig Diop up and tell
That's in 1974. He was arguing with those nuts. In
no, he made the argument.
But we can ascertain what he was trying to say, even though the language is different than 2025.
He was saying that they were African, and there's a
not just any kind of African.
No,
not any kind of African.
And then he didn't say they was diverse either. So he said that they was homogenous. He said that they were black, and ancient Egypt was homogenous in that. You know what the word homogenous means? Uniform.
Of course.
It means uniform. So whatever y'all saying now, Diop wasn't saying that. Y'all can play with Corey. Y'all not gonna play with me on this.
I'm not playing with you. I'm just telling you, people in the sun develop increased melanin to protect.
That's not what he was saying. He went to the skull type. He went to West Africa. He went to the skull types. He went to Nubia. He wasn't talking about people just standing in the sun and getting dark. That's not what he was saying.
He wasn't just talking about skin. He talking about a phenotype.
In 1974, he was entertaining something that the whole, almost the whole European body discarded, looking at Africa beyond.
Reggie, we don't went through all that. We don't went through the whole breakup, the whole building. Now we're trying to get clarity.
It don't seem like it. It don't sound like it.
We went through the whole symposium. We don't went through that. We don't read all the scholars what they were saying. Their argument was.
1974.
The people in Egypt. You done did all that, Reggie.
1974. Can't you people move on? You know how many? Some of you people.
But we're just having a conversation, man. Should we talking about Francis Cress Wilson? Might as well
Reggie, I got a get back video. I got a get back video on what
oh shit
tried to say on Dr. Jonathan Clark. Right?
Yeah, that's black. Yeah, that's
I'll put that on later. I gotta
Hey Reggie, you know what you can't. Hey Reggie, you know what you can't get mad. I realized that none of them niggas read none of that shit. They ain't read no Diop's books. Ain't read the Cairo Symposium. Not half. None of that. When I realized that, I'm no longer mad at these niggas, bro. I'm just probably mad at the way they stuck their chest out. How they could just take one little piece and with confidence, not like they understood the whole thing, yo. So don't argue with them, Reg. Don't do it, bro.
No, I'm not. I don't.
So Diop was right.
I listen to what they say, and then
Yeah,
then
yeah,
I
he
write
was
it
right, man.
video.
Yeah, that's all they get
I
out
make,
there. Yeah, he was right that Egypt should be looked at in its African context. He was absolutely right about that.
So Diop was right. So what did he get wrong?
The racialized portion of it.
Get off the
That's
court,
what we,
Power.
and that was
Get
the
off the court,
motherfucking argument.
Get off the court.
Nah,
No,
he
you
did.
don't get
And
back
Talk
on the
that
about
was
court.
the
just for the
motherfucking
record.
argument.
No, you made it
Black
up.
Egypt.
You
Black
made that
Egypt.
up. I can talk. Hey Reggie. Am I wrong when I say? Am I wrong when I say that Diaz was asserting that not only was they black, they was an indigenous African culture. That's why he brought the different things from different African cultures.
Yeah, he was doing both.
So why did he bring Obanga there?
I don't think Chef
Am I wrong
fights
with
you on that.
Reggie?
So what was the point of bringing Obanga then? If that's all he was trying to do?
Nah, because Obanga there for the linguistic component of it. And I think
African languages, but the linguistic component to tie him to where though? Tie him to where though?
Africa.
Yeah, Black Africa.
To the Bantus.
Black Africa.
Not just Black Africa, the Bantus. Like, come on, bro.
No.
That's not the same thing.
Man. I don't know. I
Yo,
don't know.
we don't lie, yo. Don't.
Let me go. Let me go look. I don't know. Your Banga. I know.
Sit up here and play, yo.
Joe.
It another end, yo. It another end, yo. It's another end of that, yo.
Joe presented Wolof, not Obanga. Let me go look it up.
Yeah, Banga was on the Bantu languages. Joke was on the Wolof.
He wasn't on the Bantu. The nigga could read Meta Netra. Yo, he was saying that the Egyptian language wasn't Semitic. But y'all never read the document, so you wouldn't know. So I can't get mad.
Yeah, but he said it was Negro.
He don't even know.
He said it was Negro Egypt.
He don't even know. He don't
even
know what the argument is.
Who you don't know, Homburger began this whole thing with Negro Egyptian because she studied linguistics only from Africa, right? Now Homburger
Negro Egyptian.
But Diop and Obanga, they looked at Homburger's work, Lillian Homburger, right? And so
y'all niggas is not true.
She started the linguistic argument about Africa, right? And then Afro-Asiatic kicked in. And so Afro-Asiatic allowed you to look at not just Africa, but Asia and decide which ones are similar. So the Semitic branch, this not the Semitic branch of, but that particular group is external and it came into Africa, right? So I just think y'all need to book up. I'm gonna write it. I've written a scathing video.
Nobody need to book up. The niggas was wrong.
No, says you, Sheffrin, just like Unc says you. Says you.
Listen, so they wasn't wrong. So it is Negro. So it is. Well, I know where you stand. I know where you stand at, Reggie. So I'm not even. You know what I mean? You kind of clear. You feel? You know what? I ain't got time for this shit. Fucking my.
Nah, keep arguing, Chef. Keep it going, Chef.
Tap out now, Sheffrin.
Yeah, I'm gonna tap out.
It said Obanga was there to demonstrate that ancient Egypt is an African language, not Semitic or Asiatic or Eurocentrics, or Asiatic as Eurocentric theories claim. So it says Job faced intense opposition from European scholar who dismisses his claim, ideological or political rather than scientific. So Obanga's presence helped bolster Job's position with academic rigor, showing that multiple African scholars could independently reach similar conclusions using different disciplines. So yeah, so he was there to counter the Afro-Asiatic Semitic language group.
But how did he counter it? By saying it's related to Bantu. That's in there.
But also other African languages though too, not just Bantu, but other African languages.
Yeah, I mean for sure. However, his main focus was showing that connection.
Niger Congo, Nala Saharan. He was like showing like that they relate to all of these.
Was he right?
Shit, I don't know. I don't think they judge him at that symposium though. You know what I mean? I don't agree. Wiki is, considered pseudo-linguistic in the wiki.
Oh, so if they call it pseudo-linguistic, what does that mean to the class?
See, I don't think they answer this shit.
What does that mean to the class, y'all? But these niggas run y'all off into something else.
There's this shit. ChatGPT is being very damn lenient towards the Bingham. He said he was correct in his core argument that ancient history
Y'all done buttered it up.
And that it shares significant linguistic features with many sub-Saharan languages. However, the full answer requires nuance because Obenga's argument was groundbreaking and influential. It also sparked ongoing academic debates, especially around how to classify ancient Egyptian linguistically. So,
Hey, Sosa. Pseudo-linguistics means claims about language that pretend to be linguistic science but lack rigorous evidence, method, or peer review. It ignores accepted methods, makes unsupported or sensational claims, and is driven by ideology or nationalism.
I know what I mean. What was wrong?
I keep y'all keep glancing past what Chef just said. I just want to say that for
What Chef say? I said that it was in Wikipedia was pseudo-linguistic. I said that. So it said where he was wrong, overgeneralization of the Negro African language family, rejection of the Afro-Asiatic language family, because like a saw, you reject the Afro-Asiatic.
Wrong. It's wrong.
Methodological issues in word comparison. So that's where you get the pseudo-linguistic from.
Not only were his results off, they were saying his whole methodology about going about it was off.
Yeah.
Not just the results, the whole method. Them boys was trying hard.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The reason I don't knock them for that because that's what they supposed to do.
I get that.
Like it doesn't matter if you break.
But we talking about the results.
Yeah. It don't matter if you sprain your leg or you get beat by 50 or 100.
Don't get me wrong. As much as of a blackologist I've been in my life, I want Diop and them to be right, but I just, I can't just not go against it.
Nah, even if they wasn't right, I said it don't matter if they're right or not. You know what I'm saying? And the end
they was there to challenge the status quo. I got that.
They go there to put it through. If it gets approved, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
It is what it is. You feel me? Like you show up for the game, you get blown out.
So let me ask you all this.
At least they had a chance to compete.
No, fuck all that, right? Because in anything that you do proficiently, right, there's a self-correcting mechanism in it. All right. So if do anybody do something in a technical level on here where there's a standard where if you follow these steps, right, it's gonna lead to you getting that shit right. And if you deviate from it, and even if you're following those steps, right, you can see it's a self-correcting method in there, right? So far as wise, let's say, all right, if you have a standard form, if you plug in the shit in the formula, it's going to give you the right, and if the shit come out wrong or something ain't coming, the formula is going to show you that you fucking up somewhere. So if these guys, so if these guys are proficient in their field, right? How could they, even if you have a hypothesis, you say, well, maybe I'm gonna go ahead. You should have seen that you was doing something wrong within that.
No, I know you can make mistakes, but it's also linguistics. Like Christopher Everett is respected, but I'm sure like he that's linguistics just ain't perfect. People still challenge him linguistically. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's different when you do that shit with science, because sometimes you're presenting new ideas. You're challenging regular norms. You know what I'm saying? So like a scientist can show up with brand new shit and an idea that they're not even using, and he's presenting a whole entire method. You know what I'm saying? So that's just it depends. You know what I'm saying? I just say it depends.
To be off, right? You saying that when you start, I'm just Reggie. Is Reggie
we'll just use Sheikh Ain't the Joke. He's saying that there were black Africans. So he's saying that the skull shape in a proportion is Negro in stature. That's what I'm saying. So And I think Ramon just got tropical body plan anyway, so that might be a problem. But he's saying his measurements align with that to support a black African deposit. He said he just couldn't get the bones. So that's a little, you know what I mean? So he wasn't just like, you know what I mean?
So what was the skulls then?
No, we was talking about the language. We was talking about the language, right?
Yeah,
so
but
you know that. Did you know the whole language?
Yeah, I don't know about the linguistic shit.
I'm trying to ask you what we was talking. We was talking about Obanga now.
Yes.
Yeah, linguistic.
Okay, so Obanga and them argued that Egyptian wasn't Semitic. Y'all do know that, right?
That's not all that he argued, but that was part of it.
No, that was part of it. That was part. No,
that was part of.
Argued that
was part of.
That was part of it, and they end up being correct though. So you wouldn't take the Afro-Asiatic.
No, he rejected that. Like a saw.
Yeah, so you just you wouldn't throw away the whole thing. You just would throw away the Negro Egyptian part, but you would have to agree that it's actually an African language. That it's not Semitic. That's all. That's how that works.
I agree, but this is my issue.
What's the issue?
The argument that I've been having, and people can say that they was having different arguments, was the whole racial thing with Egypt. Now,
yeah, he was wrong with that. Yeah.
Right. So I'm saying all that other shit, they could have been right about the Egyptians flew before the Wright brothers. I don't give a fuck
but is it so you want
the point that we were
so you never was arguing against
that,
me in the African part.
No, at first I was because
thank you. So that's why me and you put heads on that. But thank you. But go ahead.
Yeah, on that because I was thinking you kept bringing Dr. Ben and them, and I knew their argument. So it was.
Their argument was twofold. No, it was twofold.
I had a hard time divorcing your argument from Dr. Ben and them because they was implicit about what they were saying.
So what was they saying though, yo?
They was using the racialized aspect of it. That's what they were arguing.
Right, one part of it, and the other part was they was indigenous Africans.
Yeah, but their African part was the racialized part. To me,
no, it's two parts to it. It's two parts, yo.
I'm saying that it was synonymous. That the black and the African was synonymous. When you read them, black and African was synonymous in their terms.
Okay, but they was wrong though, because it's not synonymous.
Exactly. They were wrong. So when you were using them,
but they wasn't wrong about the African part though.
If black and African is synonymous to them, then yes, they was.
No, you can be wrong on one part because you had other niggas how about they was white. They were saying that's impossible. That's all, bro. Like I'm saying. Oh, I'm saying you can get. I'm saying once you realize the black portion is wrong, then you would look at the African aspect, and now all you got to do is think about them wild ass niggas the Chief X got. They all say they not African. So niggas is well within their right to argue that, bro, and not acquiesce to the faulty premise of them being black, but they indigenous African, ranging all different types of phenotypes and skin colors. And whatever makes it occurred in Africa.
So it's problematic when you use DI and Dr. Ben. I'll say that would be problematic because their concept of African was synonymous with black.
No, says you, but you ain't ever read their book to even know what it was for real.
Christ.
Yeah, you got to read it to see where they was coming from, yo.
So you saying I'm wrong?
I'm saying their arguments was threefold different. They was bringing different lines of evidence. They was saying they was proving that they was African, and then they was trying to prove that they was like all Negroes, right? Because at that point in time, anybody with dark skin was Negroes, yo. Brown skin was considered to be Negroes, which we now know that ain't true. That's why you had niggas saying the niggas in the Adam and Eve Island was Negroes. Right, and they actually wasn't, and they wasn't African. So I mean, I don't like to take them out of their cultural context. Yeah, I think that's where you fuck it up. That's just my.
Well, okay,
Reggie,
yeah, right. So what I want to add to the conversation is that Obanga got his Negro Egyptian But Lilius Hamburger, she said Negro African languages, right? So Obenga shortened it to Negro Egyptian, but Lilius Hamburger called it Negro African languages of sub-Sahara of Africa, right? So why don't you critique Lilius Hamburger?
That
Right?
never happened.
Right.
I don't even know who that is. I don't even know
That's
who
the
that
point.
is.
Right. Right. So you're not gonna critique the white. See, this is what I find out.
Yeah, that is the issue. But that is the issue we talked about. Why don't you? Yeah, why don't you get all the sources they use, yo?
You go argue with them.
No, I brought that up though. You know, I brought that up. I actually brought that up. I said when you go to the back of Diop's book, he was using the anthropology of the day, yo. That was saying they was Negroes. So you sitting around act like he came up with his own brand new. That's crazy as fuck to me, yo, when y'all say that. But not no more because I realized y'all never read the Diop's book, nor have you even checked the back of the book.
We're arguing what he brought. We're arguing what he brought. His argument.
Where did he get it from? Where did
Why does it
didn't bring
matter?
any. He didn't bring anything.
I know what it is. Here's the trick. Don't let Reggie talk. Right? Why don't you understand?
Go ahead. Do your thing, Reggie.
They was looking at work of the day. So Obenga, who's the linguist.
Matter of fact, I'm leaving.
Oh man.
God damn.
That's an escape. That's an escape. So Lilius Hamburger.
Chef is a dirty nigga, Lord.
Obenga, he gotta catch his breath. He gotta drink some water, catch his breath. Lilius Hamburger, she started Negro African languages. So she was ahead of her time. She was ahead of her time. And so, but you don't want to talk about where Obenga and Diop got their analysis from, particularly linguistic analysis from. You don't want to do that. Right? So that means that you haven't done a correct literature review. Okay, so great. That's why I'm gonna do a scathing. When y'all went for Dr. Clark, y'all made a big mistake.
Yeah, that's a big mistake right there. I already know that's crazy. Shit.
Y'all rambled on comparing his work with
ridiculous shit.
And you didn't understand what he was doing. And so tonight I'll put on my video critiquing it, and I'll give my video to a bigger channel than mine.
Yeah, it's pretty much brass.
Hey, Reggie.
Brass, Reggie. You might want to call his name out when you do it.
You're a sellout.
Hey, Reggie. Hey, Reggie.
No,
can we safely? Can we
say
safely
names,
say?
Reggie. Say names.
Hey, Reggie. Can we safely say that Clark understood that black was a racial construct?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Safely say it. And then he said, the nigga that wrote the book, now what's his name? Nature Knows No Color.
J.A. Rogers.
He said J.A. Rogers knew that shit too. He said it right there. He said he knew that shit too. They said they knew this shit was pseudo-science, yo. And they give the reason behind. He said that in 1970, motherfucking boy said it. This nigga was ahead of his time, Joe. This nigga was a reader.
He wasn't.
Yes, he was. Nigga, in 1974, he talked about the one drop rule was pseudo-scientific and how black people didn't make no fucking race. That's a wild ass idea about white people. Nigga, in 1974.
He was saying that for 100 years, huh?
Oh man, yo, come on, bro. Yeah, that's crazy as shit. So see, you doing him like you do me then. You know he ain't mean that. Okay, I got you, bro.
No, I didn't say he didn't mean it. I'm saying that wasn't groundbreaking. You know what I mean? To say that maybe in the Afrocentric community, it was groundbreaking. That shit is not groundbreaking, yo. Get out of here.
Can I tell you why it was groundbreaking? For the same reasons they was arguing at the Cairo Symposium, because it wasn't no consensus yet on whether it was a race or not, bro. Go find a consensus in 1974. They developed the consensus from 1974 to 1980, bro. Yeah. How about that? Can you disprove that statement? will go a long way in showing that you know what you're talking about on this one, bro. Go get that. Go get that they had a scientific consensus in 1974. I'm saying they was working on it all the way up to the 80s. And the modern synthesis on race happened in the 90s. That's what I'm saying.
And I'm saying y'all talking about the wrong book. Yeah.
What book you talking about?
Iceman Inheritance.
Yeah, well, and that's
Bradley.
That's Clark.
Yeah.
That's not Clark.
No. That on the front cover, it says foreword by John Henry Clark.
Yeah.
Some pseudo-judo written by Mark Bradley, a nigga that said he had a white man who explained that white people are cold and calculating because of where they was born and cold climates. Now tell me that he knew what Mark Bradley was saying was pseudo, and that him writing the foreword for that book was okay.
Okay, who's talking?
I like the way you proved the point. So white people was actually saying that. So it wasn't a black person idea,
But you knew it was pseudo.
Oh, wait, hold on.
It wasn't a white, but it wasn't a black person idea, or was it?
No,
remember how you blamed Francis Wells for that?
Oh, that's Brad.
Address the point.
Hey,
I'm
Brad.
listening to you, Rich. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, how you doing, Brad? Okay,
what's going on? Yeah, you're a slick motherfucker. Go ahead, brother.
Analysis on some of these points. Now, okay, what did first of all Dr. Clark did was basically say that Michael Bradley was one of the first popular people that critiqued white racism.
Yeah.
Right? And then he wrote a foreword putting in the African story as an example. Right? Now, Michael Bradley stirred up the white world because he was the first one to critique their because he did the earlier work that didn't have the forward on Dr. Clark. And then Dr. Clark came back and said, well, listen, nobody's critiquing white folks, right? White racism, not white folks, white racism. So let me add to the dialogue because I can give you a prime example of how racism affected Africa, right? So now in his forward, he very rarely talks about Michael Bradley's work, right? He doesn't confirm Michael Bradley's work. He just used that work because it was stirring up to say, okay, so let's deal with it when it comes to Africa. What did Dr. Clark say in his book that was racist, in the forward that was racist?
Then nobody
it's
read
what he
that.
did. Hold on. No, I did read the foreword. And
What
it's
he
what he didn't say. It's what he didn't say that was racist. Because he didn't condemn. Hold on. Let me finish. Hold on. I'm not about to fight both of y'all. Just give me a sec. I'm just talking. This ain't the argument. I'm just talking.
Okay.
It's what he did. No. Because he didn't, at the time, that book was pseudoscience. It was racial essentialism. So the core message as politically and historically useful, when you put your name to it, real quick, Chef told us, the 2-second story. Chef said he always had the book. You know why he bought the book? Because he saw John Henry Clark foreword. He saw that on the front. Didn't even know what was in the book. Just bought it for that reason. When we brought up that John Henry Clark wrote the foreword, he didn't even know. So this is a person giving legitimacy, specifically, I would say, to Black people, right? Giving it to Black people, legitimacy, this pseudo-ass argument. Now, what you're trying to tell me is that he knew it was pseudo, but that it had some kind of value, that white people, another explanation for white supremacy, that white people, it ain't power, control, and money and education and colonization. It's somehow because they was in cold environments and they can't fucking help themselves genetically and biologically. You think he was supposed to lend his name, his good name, Dr. John Henry Clark, to that bullshit, Reggie? For real?
Yeah, it wasn't that bad back then, though, Brad. Hate to say
No,
it.
but I'm saying with the 2000, I'm saying with 2025 eyes, because even in 1992, when I think he would have got to his good sense, he still defended that shit. That the European personality was shaped by that environment of some shit that wasn't real. So at what point did Dr. John Henry Clark have his good mind? When he got his doctorate? When he was teaching? When he was writing the foreword? Or in 1992, he still didn't realize you ain't supposed to support this?
Yeah, just say it, Brad. Say all them niggas was whack.
No, y'all don't change it. I'm trying to speak specifically about
no, I
him.
agree.
I know.
I agree with you, yo. So now everybody was like that though.
Yeah, you supposed to write
name
that
an
as a
intellectual that wasn't thinking that way. Name me somebody that didn't think something was actually wrong with white people.
We still looking.
Okay. What
These are quotes. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up quotes, Reggie, because you like sources.
Right.
Europeans in their attempt at world domination created a disastrous climate for the world's people. Okay. Okay. Scholars must consider the critical relationship between environment, genetics, and culture. The Iceman inheritance points to the right direction. So in the first sentence, he says that scholars must consider the critical relationship between environment, genetics, and culture. And then he says, hold on, but then he says the Iceman inheritance is the direction we supposed to be looking at. That it was a cold climate and that they were savage.
It points to the right. It
doesn't, but it didn't. It was pseudoscience.
I'm saying that his
No. Address that point. Am I right when I say he pointed us towards pseudoscience? He pointed us in the. He's saying the Iceman inheritance puts you in the right direction, but this is a person who knows it was pseudoscience, and rather than address the right direction or be a skeptic, he said the Iceman inheritance was correct, and he knew it wasn't.
Watch this. He says it puts you in the right direction. So in this particular book, it was kind of popular.
With genetics? Can you read that part again? He said about genetics.
It says scholars must consider the critical relationship between environment, genetics, and culture. The Iceman inheritance points to the right direction. That white people were savages because they grew up in a cold climate.
That's nasty word.
That's very limited. Wait, point in the right direction. That means people. That also means that people with expertise should do it. So we should.
No,
Bradley ain't even have a degree.
No. Go ahead and say your point. I just don't agree. But you can say your point. Go ahead and say your point.
No, it's fine. Thank you. I appreciate that, Brass. But the fact of the matter is, you said what Dr. Clark did not say, right? What didn't he say?
He wasn't a skeptic. He wasn't telling you in his foreword, this book is pseudoscience and it's for entertainment purposes only. This is not a scientific.
Why would he say that?
No, exactly. No. Why would he write the foreword is the question.
Because he was trying to make some money and he was trying to.
Okay, then good. Okay,
that's part of it too.
No. Cool. I'm good with that.
And he understood the psychology behind the work.
Right.
Because that's how they felt like white motherfuckers was acting like a beast, yo, the way they treated motherfuckers. When you think a person was a beast to take
I'm cool
with water, yo.
I'm cool with the money. No, wait. I'm cool with the money. Once y'all say that he was doing it for $1, I can accept that.
You're gonna get us with scamming. Then you're gonna get.
I didn't say no. I didn't say scamming. No.
Chef will. Chef.
Oh yeah, I didn't say scamming. If you explain stuff like that, brother Reggie, you went to college. I went to college, right? We both graduated from college. Both got advanced degrees. Me and you both know that there are scholars that will take certain engagements and do certain things where the motivation, even if they know exactly what it is, if it don't kill their integrity too much, they'll do it for money. That I can understand. What I can't understand is when somebody try to piss on my head and say it's raining and say that he was pointing us in the right direction of pseudoscience to somehow prove a point about science. That I don't know.
When was the book written, Brass? When was that book written?
91, 90s, early 90s.
Yeah. So why don't you see how the book was accepted in the 90s, though? What do you think?
It was rejected. They rejected the book. The consensus it was rejected. Whether it was popular or not, Kill Bill is popular. Star Wars is popular. It ain't real. We know it. We know it's bullshit. This is being passed as science. But this is like trying to say that Star Trek is real.
I didn't think it was scientific.
No, it said they rejected the book as pseudoscience and racial essentialism, which that's exactly what it is. The impact was it tied Clark to a pseudo-adjacent Afrocentric current, even if he framed it as history and a liberation narrative. But by him putting this, now here's the thing, brother Reggie, you and I both know, it's certain channels you won't go on. It's certain shows that you will not put your name, brother Reggie, to. Why?
Because
I'm not giving no
my name on
legitimacy
a
to
lot
this
of
bullshit.
shows.
Yeah,
I put
because
my
you
name
know
on
you're
a lot of
you're a
goddamn shows
scholar
that I should
that
have put my
knows
name
if
on.
your name is in the title, Brother Reggie, ... You know that you'll be you run the risk of giving your name, putting your name to some giving whatever this bullshit they about to do.
I have tarnished my
legitimacy.
name. I have tarnished my name with craziness.
Yeah. I understand that. Fully understand that.
Yeah. However, when you know better, you do better, and times change. So
Hey Reggie. Hey Reggie.
Yeah.
Why would you ever have to make an excuse for a person calling a white person a devil while they on a slave ship with their hands tied behind their back, yo?
This is 1992.
You don't gotta explain that. We don't gotta make no excuses for Clark. Clark did what he had to do.
70s, huh? This 1992.
I'm just saying he did what he had to do in the face of oppression, yo. That's like me being mad at the nation. In 92, they just, bro. In 92, you act like it was clear. It wasn't.
No. When y'all bring, so how long have we been not able to go to the bathroom, huh? In 92?
No.
Yeah, the
I'm saying in 90. No, we're talking. No,
in some
now
places in the state,
talking about
in the United States, you still couldn't go to where they went. So
but we talking about John Henry Clark. This is a separate argument.
I didn't say the bathroom part. Did I mention the bathroom part?
No, but it's like you're saying. But you're saying it's the same kind of climate.
No. I'm saying no. I'm saying that the science wasn't where y'all thought it was, or at least the transmission of it wasn't there in the 90s. The genome hadn't even been mapped out yet. Hold on, the human genome had not been mapped out yet, though, yo.
So he didn't have the heart. No, I won't say the heart. I want to question. He didn't have the good common sense to you when you do a show, right? I know you and Brother Reggie got the good common sense that when somebody say something absolutely crazy, even if you like, I do kind of agree with him. Y'all got the common sense to say it's pseudo. So when I say what he didn't say, in his foreword, nowhere in there does he at least explain. Now, these next words he about to read,
I think we might mess it up.
While they may be pseudo, they may be unscientific. Take them for what they are.
Hey Reggie, I think we might be arguing for the wrong thing, yo, because he wrote a lot of forwards for a lot of books, those particular genre, like Premodal Signs and Symbols, Iceman Inheritance, Stanley Poole's work, The Golden Age, the Moors. Is it the Golden Age of the Moors? No, it's not the Golden Age of the Moors. It's the Moors. He wrote the four. So he wrote it for in a lot of different. I think it had something to do with
the Arab invasion of Africa.
Yes, he wrote the forward of that. So was it like a part of the publicist? Was that part of his responsibility to get some works out there? Because I don't think niggas was gonna read no scientific treatises on it. I think did y'all know that though?
No, but look at what he said though. Look at what he said in the forward. Brass read the part that he agreed with the pseudo-science of it.
What, that part that he just read right then and there?
Yeah. No. It goes further. In response to Henry. Listen, Reggie. Brother Reggie, check it out. In response to critics like Henry Louis Gates, because I want to answer your question, Skip Gates. In a 1992 essay, Clark wrote, I wrote the introduction to the new edition of this book because I considered the book to be of significance in explaining the origin of racism.
He ain't trying to find the origin of racism.
Y'all going to just say it was money, bro. Just say it was money.
Trying to find the origin of racism.
Just say it was money, man. We don't know, but we know it wasn't because.
What is the origin of racism?
But we know, no. We may not know what the origin of racism is, but we know it wasn't because white people was in cold climates making them savage.
Yeah, but Dr. Clark. See, here's the thing.
This is a real. We're going back in circles. I don't want to fight on this.
When you get a forward, you get a chance to write your own story. Dr. Clark was an opportunist in this because it was white folks who was having problems with. Well, what is the origin of racism? Are we racist, right? Or are we something else? And come to find out, they was racist. Come to find out. They was land poor, resource poor, people poor, right? And they used
Bradley wasn't even in the field.
No.
But so
Oh, listen. So, are you going to
That shit
wasn't even
sounded good,
legitimate.
didn't it, yo?
Are you
That
going to
shit wasn't even
completely?
legitimate. He's not even legitimate.
Listen, I used to go to Dr. Clark's office, right? Dr. Clark had an office in his brownstone with a secretary and a researcher, right? I go up the steps. He's getting
I know a
letters from
secretary.
huh?
He
What?
said he knows his
No,
secretary.
I said I knew a secretary, but go ahead.
Yeah. So
Yep,
there's
go ahead.
the secretary was Ann. Is one of his research people was Lori Sharp, who I just saw. Well, her granddaughter just got married, and she's still alive. She's 96, 97, right? So Dr. Clark would always, and remember at the same time he was working at Hunter College, but he had his own office. Remember, he started all of this with Freedom Ways, right? And then he built up his library. He would get lots and lots and lots of offers because book selling was big. So he had to support his office. He had to support his family. He lived in a brownstone. Before a lot of people lived in brownstones in Harlem, and he bought it late, so he had to maintain it. Now, I don't disagree that but there was no other book like that castigated white folks for their oppressive behavior, right? They hate white.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that. Yeah, I'm
right.
not. I don't give a damn. I'm glad he wrote the motherfucking forward in there. Big up to John Henry Clark for standing up. I ain't making no excuses on that. It's crazy.
Okay, and that's
crazy, yo.
And that's good. And
it's
so
fucking retarded at this point. Think about that, Reggie. Niggas ain't nobody saying, well, why they put a nigga on this ship? Hold on, why they Jim Crow nigga? Why they make you fight these civil rights? Well, why they do? Ain't nobody saying that. They too busy fighting.
I'm glad
niggas
y'all
trying
get
to fight
against I'm glad y'all saying this. This is very telling.
The craziest thing happened to me. Why you had to write the quote of that? Cause it was a good thing to write. It was definitely a benefit. It was definitely a benefit at that point.
He used it for his own reading audience. God damn.
Y'all not even talking to us at this point. Y'all trying to convince yourselves.
Shit.
Oh,
man, you cannot ask me
y'all
why
not
a
even
nigga
talking to us,
get up in the middle of a night
Let
full
the
of slave
sister
shit.
I take it you didn't accept your win.
The beautiful thing is, I have a show coming up tonight. And maybe I might do it a little early.
I'll give a brother
Reggie said he gonna beat us up.
Hey, brother Reggie, I'm gonna give him some credit. I'm gonna
Reggie
give him
said he
some credit
beat us
real
up.
quick. He says the content of this book is an important message for our times. His accuracy and his revelations will open doors. The book is not, he admits himself, this book is not a masterpiece of scholarship or analysis. He literally says that. Wait.
Okay, so then you gotta let him off the hook.
Wait. Go on. Caucasians in general have an inferiority complex about their world position. If they were secure within their alleged superiority, they would not have to shout it to the world so often. All the European laws, lies, manipulation of religion have not kept most of the non-European world in the inferior position the European world have assigned to it. I want to say something really plain, Brother Reggie. So now you can get my fighting style. I don't care if who likes the person, this, that, and the other. When you assign an entire race a psychological diagnosis, you're a racist, whether you white, black, or otherwise. If you saying that Caucasians,
I'm gonna show you my fighting style.
No. Let me tell you why that's dangerous, though, Brother Reggie, real quick.
No,
I'm gonna reverse it. I'm going to reverse it. Hold on, give me a second. I just want to finish my plane. Yeah. Because if it was a white man saying black, all Negroes have an inferiority complex, y'all would be trying to burn that motherfucker at the stake.
So why would that be, Brass? Why would that be?
Yes,
Any reason?
No. Look past it because it's the
could it be the 12 million?
Great Dr. John Henry Clark.
No.
Y'all only doing this because it's Dr. John Henry Clark. That's the only reason y'all doing this.
No, that's not true.
I'm going to have a personal relationship with him.
Okay, wait, Brother Reggie can admit it. You can't.
No, Unc not gonna admit nothing because it just be the 12 million.
Okay, he got a personal. I love that.
I never met John Henry Clark.
Never met him in my whole goddamn life.
Right, you went to
But
his grave?
Well, I will
wanted to-
tell you, yeah, I went to his grave
goddamn
site.
grave.
Yeah, I did that. None of these niggas did that. But let me say this though. What I will say is, do you think I'm worrying about this man being dangerous after 12 million motherfuckers got enslaved? After another countless motherfuckers have been through Jim Crow, sharecropping, civil rights movement, couldn't go. Do you think I really care about the person that was raised in that environment, yo? What the fuck they said, yo? He fought the way he had to fight to get to where he had to get you, bro. Now we smart enough to know why he was saying, doing what he was doing. It ain't hard to figure that out. This is simple. This shit is very simple. It's not complex.
No,
your argument
is clear, bro. Your argument is clear.
I'm not gonna be a racist.
I know what. No, he's
definitely
definitely.
a racist.
I'm gonna add to Unc.
Okay, so what is racial? Wait. A core tenet of racism is racial essentialism. What is racial essentialism, huh?
Not in the middle of being subjugated.
What is racist essentialism?
No,
you
I'm
can
saying
explain
black,
the context, but it doesn't
you
give
just
his
said it, you're
racism
saying-
any excuse. What
So
is
does
racial
that exist?
essentialism?
No, but
What
does
is
it
it?
exist? You tell me what it is.
Okay, if you
when you're
don't,
marking
okay,
races,
okay,
hold on.
go ahead.
When you're marking a group of people based off their race,
Right, that's race. That's the core
okay,
tenet of racism.
so I'm asking you this question: is it a such thing? No,
So
hold
what?
on.
Beat racism with racism, Reggie?
Hold on. No. I'm asking you a question. Is it a such a thing as an African on a slave ship being racist? Is it a such thing in the middle of Jim Crow?
1992? No.
No. Listen to what I'm saying, yo. Is it a such thing as an African being racist during Jim Crow? Is it a such thing? Is the such thing in 1960s?
I don't know
Is
what
it
you're
a such
saying.
things in the 70s? I'm making a point here. There is no one would say that. No one would talk about that. This is how he was raised. You want this man to leave all that he know about white people and throw it away? No, nigga, he
You know, a
can't.
white person
He can't
can take
detach
your whole.
himself from that. That's
You
our
know,
job
white
to
people.
detach him from that.
White people have taken your whole argument and created Christian nationalism and MAGA in reverse by calling us savages and applying savagery to our entire race with no science, no proof, and you think it's cool because we do it to them.
And
what
that's
the
my
hell are
problem.
you doing, bro?
That's my problem with this, Brad.
What are you doing?
That's my
do you
only
know,
thing
do you know
with
about
this.
what you saying?
I have a question.
Hold on, wait.
Yo,
He's
not
a doctor.
about
Wait,
right
hold
now,
on, bro.
yo.
Hold on. He's a
Yeah, we not
doctor.
talking about
Bro. He's
All
a
right.
scholar, correct? There's
Who?
no way. Do you know when you talk to me, if I just flipped your shit in reverse black and white, do you know that MAGA and Christian nationalism say the same shit, not based in no science, not based in no evidence? They just say it and yell it louder than you, and then we call them crazy. But I'm supposed to call John Henry Clark because he fought pseudo-science with pseudo-science?
You think
fought
that's the same thing?
with
No, you
racism?
saying that's the
This
same
don't
thing?
make no sense.
This one, what don't make no sense? You think that's the same thing?
Bro, the
It's
world is
to me.
bigger than just hold on. The world, and there's no shot.
What's
It
wrong with
sounds
me
like
right
it, though.
now, yo?
The world is bigger than Afrocentrism, bro. If we got a Dr. John Henry Clark at the beginning, if we got a John Henry Clark as a scholar, a leading scholar at the time of whatever the hell, then why would we would expect him to do better. We would expect him to find evidence. We would expect him to do something scientific, not write 4 words for some other pseudo-scientific shit. Like, at what point what nigga in the group supposed to raise the bar? Who can we critique? If his legacy is so strong, why can't we critique it? I'm not talking about a nigga on the corner. I'm not talking about SETI or some nigga on Sonetta. I'm talking about a Dr. John Henry Clark, a thought leader in the movement. Let all the other niggas do that dumbass shit. He's supposed to be leading the way to the other shit. Fighting the racism with science. Fighting the shit with facts.
No, you cannot critique them outside of the cultural context of the times. And that's exactly what y'all do.
In 1992,
let me finish my point.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. You're right.
Y'all do not judge this man for growing up in the 1900s amongst white people. You expect him to avoid all that and then be crystal clear. It doesn't make sense. He spent the majority of his life with the most wildest human beings on planet Earth known to mankind, dog. At least during that time period.
You know of nobody that colonized the world based off of skin color prior to them. Those colonial powers, they did that. And they not only did that, they changed the cultural container with Christianity. They did that. That means once you take Christianity, you've now voided your ancestors, where you come from, how you do it, your sacraments, all the things that human beings will fight to the end. I'm going to say this again. Human beings will accept science innovation very easily. The Roman Empire come in, they bring some scientific shit, how to get this, they accept it. But when it come time to you change their fucking ancestors, they're going to fight a war till you beat them into submission. So they did that. They colonized these people, bro, based off of the religion, based off of changing your ancestry. They did that. And now you expect John Henry Clark not to amen a book called Iceman and Heritage, because he leans, he say the shit ain't scholarly, but he say the way y'all saying that shit sounds slick and gonna give my people a uplift. You don't see that? I can't help you see it, bro. That's not for me to help you see. But I'm saying I can see it, and I hope the generations that's come after us can at least see it and say, yeah, we don't agree with that now. But goddamn it, you better know, keep your motherfucking eyes open. That's what I'm gonna say. Keep your fucking eyes open. That's where I'm at with it, bro. I'm gonna keep my eyes open. Science don't make me close my eyes.
Oh, Dr. Clark was critiquing racial essentialism. That's what he was. He was critiquing racial essentialism. So the critique of racial essentialism is a racist. Where Dr. Clark told you exactly what he said. He said we should do it by rigorous discussions and scholarship.
And it's got rigorous discussions and scholarship. And then let me go write the foreword for Iceman Inheritance, Brother Reggie.
He didn't castigate. He didn't prejudice any individual. He didn't take anything from anybody. He said, let's discuss it.
Hey, Reggie.
The facts.
Brother Reggie, give me 1 second. When you're done. I apologize. When you're done. Go ahead.
The critique on racism makes you a racist when you're not taking anything from anybody, except for saying let's have the discussion. And because he wrote where Michael Bradley was critiquing racial essentialism with the limited tools that he had, Dr. Clark took his opportunity to critique Michael Bradley and to critique oppressive behavior, right? So I get your point, but I think that what happens is that your analysis is that the critique of racism is racist, but this critique of racist is not Francis Cress Wilson. He's not doing any of the things that Francis Cress Wilson is doing. He's doing it with historical examples of what happened between the European, the sun never shines on a fucking British Empire, right? And African slavery.
He did exactly what Francis Cress Wilson did. He diagnosed an entire race through no science, no evidence, using biology and genetics. That Caucasian inferiority argument is exact. When you diagnose an entire race and you're not qualified to do it in the conversation that Mark Bradley was doing, Caucasian inferiority just reversed the world. I'm gonna just give me 30 seconds. W.E.B. Du Bois, John Hope Franklin, Carter G. Woodson, St. Clair Drake, E. Franklin Frazier, Ralph Bunche, Gunnar Myrdal, Orlando Patterson, Kenneth and Mamie Clark, Derek Bell, Franz Fanon, Amy Césaire, James Baldwin, Toni Morrison, Sheikh Anta Diop, Molefi Asante. These are all people that were born in and around the same time. The majority of them didn't do what the fuck he did.
Huh?
And so I guess those slave ships and the effects of Jim Crow and civil rights and 70s and bathrooms and those people all grew up during those times too. They didn't have to go into some fake ass biological. The majority of them, they didn't have to go into some fake ass biological. They didn't. These are all people. Those are all.
He said untrue. He didn't grow up. Francis Cress Wilson is not in that age group. So stop it.
I didn't say Francis Cress Wilson. I said he did exactly what you said. He didn't do what Francis Cress Wilson did.
Francis
You didn't read.
Cresswell.
Hold on. Did you mention the
Let me answer
scholar?
his question. Let me answer his question. Francis Cresswellson, you said he didn't do what Francis Cresswellson did. Francis Cresswellson diagnosed an entire race, the social construct, with a disease. As a psychiatrist, she gave them a biological and genetic reason for why the fuck they are the way they are. In that foreword, he damn near mirrors the same shit of Caucasian inferiority on the entire Caucasian race. And you said he didn't do what Francis Cresswellson did.
The problem is, luckily I sat in his classes, and I have lots of notes from other things that I've read of him. Now, the problem is Dr. Clark was an expert in critiquing systems, right?
What was his degree in, Brother Reggie? I'm not certain.
He don't have a degree. He had high school education.
So he was an expert in diagnosing systems. How? Or what qualifications did he have to be able to diagnose entire races?
No, systems.
What qualifications did he have to diagnose entire systems?
His many writings and
rewrote. Are you bringing up rallies?
No, he wasn't in
You
no
said
rallies.
rallies. Did you say rallies?
No, I did not say rallies.
So let me.
Okay, I thought you said rallies. What is this?
Y'all gonna get John Henry Clark beat up for nothing.
What is this?
Hold on, Brad.
That shit is problematic.
I think y'all kind of overstated with your. I think it's wrong to say that that my fault, that John Henry Clark was addressing a whole race of people. I don't think at all he thought that all white people was that at all. I think he was talking about the colonial powers that did the things that they did. He was specifically talking about them.
Caucasians have an inferiority complex.
You get my point though, right?
I'm reading his words, not what you think he said.
No, you cut me in the middle though. Let me finish my point.
You're right.
I'm saying the same way we understand that Charles Darwin wouldn't have had a hierarchy amongst humans based off his scientific theory. It's the same way we understand that John Henry Clark talked about the Russians being enslaved to the Germans. He has a great picture, right? He specifically, when he's saying Caucasian, he's talking about specific groups of people that did what they did, yo. He has a command of history. He may not be an expert with a doctor behind his name, but we know based off his libraries, based off his conversation, that he had enough sense to know, like we sitting here, that he wasn't saying everybody. Y'all just did that. Y'all
I just
got
read
away
what he wrote.
Understanding. So I don't know why y'all would think thought he meant every white person. He didn't mean that. It wouldn't make sense.
I didn't make up his word.
Just to be fair, Brad said the word Caucasians, right? So if we switch that though, with the word Negroes, and someone wrote some shit like that, I would think
you wouldn't be giving this so much defense.
They don't mean every Negro.
Right, but see, here's the thing.
Y'all don't see the way. Y'all hold on, Reggie. You don't see how crazy that statement is. You wait.
Yeah, no,
you don't
I
see how y'all just even that out. No, Small said that. Hey, Small.
Crazy Small.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to understand. Yeah.
No, hey, Smalls. You don't get like it's not equal. Black people didn't enslave 12 million white people. Black people didn't have Jim Crow laws, black law, black codes. So you could never. It's not even. I can't even believe you put it on the same. Like that is crazy shit to me. That's the.
So I have a question. Would you have a problem, or anyone on here that is, going hard for our ancestors or our older teachers and stuff, which I don't have a problem with, but I do find it interesting that people go hard for certain people. So if the brother is trying to make the case that what Dr. John Henry Clark was doing was some sort of racism or reverse racism, how would you feel about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad saying that the white man is the devil? Is there a difference? And could you make the same case for him?
No. I would make the same. That he framed it just right, based off of their attitude towards the mistreatment of people. I think he got that right. He didn't literally mean they was devils. He's saying their character, the way they did things, and all that shit. Like it makes sense.
All
so
right.
you know what? I'm a tap out right here.
Why don't y'all let me?
No, thank you. That makes sense. I wanted to hear you say that because sometimes people, they pick and choose their pseudos, but it's basically the same thing. So I just wanted to hear you say that.
Yeah, that
So
makes
wait,
sense.
Brass,
And why would you
Brass
think?
read off a
Dr.
list of
Clark, let me
contemporaries,
just tell you what you
and we're
missed.
not going to address that.
I want to address it because I think he messed
I've
that
been
up.
waiting.
Hey Reggie, don't let him get away with the names he named. I've been trying
I'm
to
not
say it
gonna
for
let.
5 minutes.
Let's get
I'm
back to
not
Niggas
that.
just justified Elijah
Thing.
Muhammad.
Speak.
Niggas just justified Elijah Muhammad.
Let me speak.
Okay.
See, here's the problem. Here's the problem. First of all, you're effed up because if he used the word Caucasian, that was a word that European races created to set them apart from other people, right? So he could use that term because he's not talking about real people. He's talking about the concept of a Caucasian, which is a scientifically discredited racial classification, right? From Europe. So he didn't say all people from Europe. He didn't say all people from white people from America. He used the term Caucasian and is set apart from Negro and other fake racial categories. So if you think that Caucasian, right, is nothing else but a social construct, right? If you don't think there's a social construct, he could critique the social construct of the term Caucasian. What you did was you read into it that Caucasians are really people. So you went in. No, let me say it again. He can't critique the word Caucasian because he's critiquing these loaded words. So he's not castigating all white people, all Europeans. He's castigating the word Caucasian, right? And so the difference is otherwise he would have talked about a region, he would have talked about a people, but he used to critique an outdated and scientific discredited racial classification. And he could critique that because some groups of races believed that they were Caucasians. So those who believed that they were Caucasians, right, he could critique them.
So if you believe that you're Caucasian, you the one who got the genetic problem. So your belief can affect your genetics.
No, you're twisting. You're twisting what I said. No, you didn't say
we gotta be honest.
What you
You're
said
not
is
being
not congruent
honest.
with the statement that we read.
No,
you telling me what he believed. We read what he said.
I'm gonna listen. You just try to mess it up. Sis, what you saying?
Brother Reggie, I'm so happy to talk to you. I got so many questions for you, but I'm not going to have them here. But are you saying that they're not referencing white people? It sounds like you're using semantics. And the point that I raised with Elijah Muhammad is that it's the same thing. So the same vitriol that you would have for someone like Elijah Muhammad using these words or saying these things, which people call hate and all this stuff, sounds like the same thing that he was doing. But are you saying that he's not talking about white people? He's talking about these mysterious Caucasian people?
Yeah, he's attacking racial classifications. That's basically what he is doing.
But that's still white people, though, right?
No. It's a synonym. It's a synonym for white people, right?
Yeah, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing, though, right? We know what he's talking about, right?
That's the problem.
No, they do. We don't.
Not
they know
saying,
what he's talking about. We don't.
No,
that's what
right. So what I'm just trying to say is this whole concept. He grew up in a time period of them using this word Caucasian to separate themselves from everybody else. And that came with a loaded race-based concept that they are superior. They have that they're superior than African people. He critiqued that word Caucasian, right? And that word Caucasian does not mean all peoples. It's meaning those people who used the term to set themselves apart, and that became the super exploitation of other people. So he could
What's the source on that?
Look up Caucasian. You don't have to do
I want to hear John Henry Clark saying exactly what you just said.
It's called scientific racism.
Yes.
So the whole
you can't lead me nowhere that let me arrive at that same point Reggie just read and Dr. Clark worked. We don't have a reference for that.
For what? What did Reggie just read?
That he wasn't talking about white people when he said Caucasian. That it was a specific set of white people. That
I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't.
When he said
right
Caucasians. No. I got what he said. He said that when Dr. John Henry Clark was talking about Caucasians, he wasn't talking about white people. He was talking about a specific set of white people, a mystery set of white people that used the term Caucasian, not white. That's what he said. That's what he said. I mean, if I fucked it up, you could say it.
Yeah, I didn't hear it.
Okay, so
no, you just heard what I said. So, you're a historian. What are these specific mystery set of white people, Caucasians?
Wait, Dr. Clark,
I thought he was just judging the colonial power.
Dr. Clark is reported saying.
So y'all are not even.
Why are you cutting me off?
You've been talking for 30 minutes. Nigga, who's yelling at? What the fuck?
Yeah. Listen.
Let's keep it civil, man. I understand that, sir.
Right. First of all, it's your work.
See, I knew that's how they want to do that. That's all good. Don't worry about it. Brother Reggie, let's just talk, bro. We don't got to go there. No, we don't got to go there, brother.
No, he went there. Dr. Clark openly rejected the notion of biological races.
Right.
So
yeah, like he did do that.
But he wrote a forward to a guy who made positive
sure
saying
did.
that outlaw.
Sure did.
Sure did. It's the contradiction there.
Sure did. He sure did. I would actually like y'all to critique the whole body of science that said we was inferior. So now I'm sitting here on a programming that actually believes that a group of people didn't actually say that African people were inferior. So do y'all agree to that?
No, we didn't say
Let me hear it. No, I want to hear it. Come on now. And I hear y'all say that. I want to make sure. I want to make sure because I don't feel comfortable at this point. I don't feel comfortable.
Nobody said that. No. And y'all, and this crashing out ain't making this better.
I'm not crashing out. I'm not crashing
because nobody said that. No, none of us ever said any of that.
No. I'm gonna do like you, Brass. I'm gonna say it like you said, Brass, based off what y'all didn't say. Based off what y'all didn't say. That's how we doing it. We do the based off what they didn't. Based off what y'all have not said.
I'm gonna tell you what I did say. I said you should not fight racism with racism because that's what they did to us.
No, says you while getting punched in the face, yo. You saying that they getting punched in the face. Immediately getting punched.
Did racism disappear? When George, did I go out and kill cops? Did you think I didn't feel like going out and killing motherfuckers when they did that to when they did that to George Floyd? When they did that to George Floyd? When they shot that lady in her kitchen? When they doing all this racist shit to us? You think I don't feel like just going out and just doing some shit out of racism and pseudo shit? You think I don't want to go on there and just start calling all white people savages?
Yeah,
I'm not even Dr. John Henry Clark.
I was in the middle of talking, and I'm saying the things you just named was on a daily basis back then for them. I'm gonna say this one more time. The things you just mentioned was on a daily basis, not on a yearly basis, but a daily basis in all communities. These types of things occurred. So no, I would not expect you to run out there and do none of that, Brass. But you might do it if it was happening to you every day, Brass. Yes, you might just swing like that if it happened every day. Okay? Yes, I could expect you to do that, and I wouldn't think your behavior was racist. I'd just be thinking you was responding at that point.
So we don't hold.
That's all I'm saying.
We don't hold scholars, thought leaders, doctors to a different standard.
No, y'all made me move away. Yes, but you made me move away from my point.
John Henry Clark to the same standard as a motherfucker that gets so furious over racism that he can't use his fucking words and evidence.
No, but you moved me away from my point, though.
I'm just responding to what you just said.
No, let me tell you what my point was before you did that. My point actually was that there was a whole body of scientists that said we was inferior. So I don't find it odd that people who don't have a whole body of literature behind them to use works like John Bradley and the ISIS Papers, because that's all the fuck they had. Jesus Christ, bro. They didn't have the whole weight of science behind them. I mean, why y'all can't see that? And it sounds like I'm defending the stupid shit. I'm actually not. I'm simply bringing forth the facts. Facts is they didn't have a whole world of science cross continent saying that Africans was inferior. That's what the tools the Europeans had. They had it in their highest institutions. Did we have the same thing in our highest institutions? No, we did not. We had the Iceman and Herden and fucking Wishmacomic. Come on, dog. Like,
So in
the niggas use what they
1990,
got.
so in 1992,
Yeah.
when he wrote the foreword, you're saying that Dr. John Henry Clark did not have access to the correct information?
I don't know about that. I'm saying
No, you just said no,
what he had.
wait.
No, he didn't say that. That's not.
Wait,
See,
I'm
this is
trying to
my
get
point.
clarity, bro,
Wait,
because it
but
sounds
I'm
like
gonna
you
help
just said that Dr. John Henry Clark in
This is crazy, yo.
1992 did not have
This
access.
is crazy. What do you
What
think? Hold
the
on.
fuck are you
What do you
talking
think the
about?
world thought? No, let's do this.
I don't
What do
care
you
what
think?
they
What do you
thought,
think
bro.
the world thought they had? Hold on. In 1990, what do you think the world knew about races?
I didn't say new. See, that's a different argument.
No,
I'm saying
understood.
that.
No,
No, let me tell
understood
you my
part.
argument. Let me tell you my argument. That Dr. John Henry Clark, the thought leader, the scholar, he had the ability to go to y'all always talk about his library. So I would assume in this library, the reason he was fighting so hard is because he had the correct information. So what he should have done or could have done, or he did, was present the correct information. But when you tell me he didn't have access to it, y'all defense of John Henry Clark is making this worse, not us. Because
So,
now you're trying to tell me that
I've been in his
Caucasians ain't white
library,
people.
Brad.
No, wait. Y'all saying
I've read.
Caucasians
No, you
ain't
won't let me
white
talk,
people.
Brad.
No, let me finish, Brother Reggie. I don't want to become argumentative. I just want to finish my sentence. Y'all, brother Reggie told me that when he was talking about Caucasians, he wasn't talking about all white people because he was in his classroom and he dealt with them. And if that's the case, that's fine. I don't have access to that. I only have access to what I have. I just thought Caucasians always was just white people or European. He wasn't talking about Russians. I think he was talking about white people. But that's just me. That's just my lack of it. Maybe I'm going outside of my lack. But this defense now that Dr. John Henry Clark in 1992, my argument is not what you're saying, I know what they thought of us. I read about what they was doing to us. It didn't happen to me. I don't know when you were born. I'm not sure if it happened to you. But I'm gonna say this: no matter what they said, no matter what they did,
1967, they just blew off Martin Luther King head in 1968. Blew his
you
head
were
off.
born in '68 when it happened. Okay,
blew his head
just
off.
killed George Floyd the other day.
Right,
You know
and
what I
my
mean?
point, hold on.
So now y'all put George Floyd.
No, now
you know
y'all
what?
fucking up
I'm
the
done.
argument,
No,
bro.
nah.
You said y'all.
Hey, Brass.
Chef
Hey,
said
Brass.
that.
I'm
looking for a way out,
gonna
Brad.
relax
He's
that.
looking for a way out.
Hey, Brass. I'm
way
gonna
out.
go ahead and tap out at this point. I know you got to take. I probably shouldn't have been on here this long. So I just want to tap out with that.
I appreciate that.
If we can't see the fundamental difference between a nigga that's and Martin Luther King, dog, then you know what?
Ain't the point.
Okay, no. Okay,
I should be in this room arguing, yo. I should have enough sense to know that.
Oh, you said you gotta
That's a sweet.
I understand that. I fully understand that. Don't tap out and then give us the rest of your point. The end of this is now in 92. I'm supposed to believe that Dr. John Henry Clark was intelligent, brilliant. I've heard terms like ahead of his time, a thought leader. But you trying to now explain to me in 1992, he didn't have access to the correct information? What are we doing? That defense don't even make sense.
Can I talk?
Wait. Do y'all know we got fathers and grandmothers and great grandmothers that have doctorates? So when y'all tell us this shit about Jim Crow and all of this, we can recognize that, but we got examples in our own families of people who didn't have to do that shit. We're not talking about the 1800s. I got 13 brothers and sisters that got doctorates during that time. I got
my
7
grandmother ain't need a
doctorate. Y'all don't tell me that they didn't have access, bro. I got a brother that graduated from Yale in '95.
Hey, I appreciate the conversation, brother, fellas. I don't want to leave out on hostile terms.
No,
I
we
appreciate
appreciate
the conversation.
you. Leave hot. We appreciate you. We appreciate you.
My grandmother ain't need a doctor.
Oh, come on, brother Reggie. Not the access to the information. I can call my brother right now. He's a microsurgeon, graduate from Yale in 91. No, 89. Okay. So don't tell me he don't have access. We make y'all excuses or y'all explanations is making this worse.
No,
this sounds bad.
It's actually clarifying.
It's the conscious community.
You're not letting me talk.
No, nobody else say crazy shit like that.
Okay,
This
fine.
shit crazy.
Okay, fine. So my point is that in your talking, you use the word white, all white people. You do know that white people is a social construct. There's no white people.
Oh my God, yo. Y'all about to let him.
See, that's the problem. So this term Caucasian
argument don't even make sense.
No, not to you, because you just
no, like be honest.
You need some.
You always go into a teacher.
You won't let me talk
because you already said this. You already said that Caucasian in John Henry Clark eyes didn't mean white people.
No,
that's crazy.
You're not saying nothing, Chef.
Why we gotta listen to that again?
I'm talking about.
You do know we grown ass men, right, Reggie?
No, but we have different education levels.
Grown ass men. Us as grown men.
Grown ass men with different education levels.
I would never make a crazy argument like that to you because I respect you.
Fine. That's fine. You can respect me. I appreciate that. I respect you. But we're arguing on the term white and Caucasian.
No, you are. Be clear. He meant white people.
I'm explaining to you. You are acting like Caucasian and white people when if he critiques Caucasian, he's talking about all Europeans.
In the context that he used it, yes, he was.
No.
In the context in where he used it and how the book was using it in the Iceland inheritance, it was talking about white people.
You haven't read.
We know this.
You haven't read all of his work, right? You just read a foreword, right? So the issue is that Dr. Clark's in his lectures and writings, he emphasized that race and terms like Caucasians and white are social constructs. So he can attack those people who are using those terms. That's the whole point of it, right? He's critiquing, and that makes him a racist because he's critiquing people.
No, I got you. Brass, can you read that statement that he made again?
No, he can't cut me off.
About whites and Caucasians and their genetics. You dig what I'm saying? If he made a genetic argument, then he's not talking about
making a genetic argument. You could read
he gave credence to it.
He gave credence to it. You got let him read. Let him read it again,
Bryce.
Where you have bad.
I really don't want to talk about this shit no more, to be quite honest.
Why?
Yeah, let Reggie do it. No,
because it's disingenuous.
Because once you tell me, and this ain't you, brother Reggie, but once the defense starts going into in 1992 he ain't have access, then now when they keep saying that we're talking bad about Francis Cress Welsing and the educators at the time, I'm starting to believe, maybe not you, brother Reggie, that y'all didn't think these people had good common sense. That they were the smartest people ever, and they didn't know that. Actually, here's the funny thing, brother Reggie. I accepted it when Unc said it was about some money. Cool. But when you start telling me that he didn't have access to the information, so he just said this, then I didn't say you said that. I don't think we're having a conversation. I don't think we're having a conversation. I didn't say you did. I didn't say you did. I'm just saying that was the defense. No, I apologize if I said you did. I'm saying the argument now, because I was talking to multiple people. The argument, not from Brother Reggie, but from the defenders of that side, are saying that he didn't have access to it. Now, even if I was 6 years old at the time, now I feel like this is not you, that this is a defense of, this is an emotional defense, not a scholarly one.
and it's gonna end up in us arguing or something like that. Because that actually pissed me off, knowing that my brother graduated from Yale 3 years before that book was written.
Okay. Well, I don't
want to fight like that.
Okay, so what I'm gonna say is that I have been privileged in my life to work with Dr. Clark in his library.
Right.
My first real occurrence with Dr. Clark was loading books from a car to his house, right, to go into his library. As he was always continuing adding to his 10,000 books that he has, right? Then my next issue with situation with Dr. Clark, I was privileged enough to work at the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture, because Dr. Clark and Dr. Jeffries helped me get that job. They wrote references to Howard Dodson. So I worked at the Schomburg Center for 5 years, which was Dr. Clark's formative resource for Black culture when Arthur Schomburg was one of his mentors, as Leo Hansberry and some others were. I had privilege. In his library, in his last years, because he died in 97, thinking he died in 97, 96, 97. And then of course I went to Africa, but that has nothing to do with that. But what the fact of the matter is, I had the privilege of reading for Dr. John Henry Clark when his eyesight was failing. So I had to go through his library, and he knew his library like the back of his hand. He'd tell me where the books was. He couldn't see nothing. I had to turn the lights on. His wife would say, "Why you need to turn the lights on? He can't see." I said, "I need to turn the lights on for me so I can find the books." So, and then I would read to him and refresh his mind on things that he wanted to deal with, but couldn't because he had to see. So now in his library, I would say Dr. Clark's library was 60%, 55, 60% European works, classical European works. And then he was a great collector of African works, right? So, and he had very old books that Europeans wrote. He used the terminology and he fought against the terminology that white folks have been pushing in academia for many years, right? He fought against that. White is a social construct, as I said, so is Caucasian, right? But there were people who called themselves Caucasians, and they were proud of being Caucasians as opposed to this other word that they created, which was Negro, right? So, when Dr. Clark is trying to critique, you have to understand that sometimes when these scholars are writing, they're trying to take a grand sweep of history, make some really grand points in a short period of time, because it's just a forward. For you, it's unforgiven because he didn't use extra words, or maybe he did and it was just cut out in the editorial process, right? For their purposes, we don't know. But usually when you do write things like that, the editorial cuts it out. You do know that, right? Now, some things you have to fight for and you can fight for, but these things exist in publications, especially when people who create these publications want to make money. That's the bottom line, right? So he may not have had the time there, but in other books, he specifically talked about Caucasian. Now, I understand your point, and I respect your point. Um, I don't agree with your point because I actually personally know him, but I can say in that book, he didn't castigate people. What he did was he gave directions that people should go into rigorous scholarship to um, to fix these problems, and it'll be over time. And he was trying to produce good scholars to be able to tackle it. Unfortunately, many of the people um, they didn't get it. They went into the Francis Cress Wilson zone and some other stuff, right? Afrocentric zone. And so, but there are some good scholars that respect Dr. Clark's work. But I understand for you, his forward is unforgiving. I am going to now have to add something to my presentation uh, just about this or other people to who are on the fence, because all of Dr. Clarke's my Life in Search of Africa, all of his Malcolm X, all Garvey, his African World Revolution, who betrayed the African World Revolution, um, many of his great works don't, none of those castigate individual people. Racists castigate individual people. Dr. Clarke did not do that. He looked at systems and long periods of history. He had something called the 100-year turn, the 100-year turning point. Dr. Leonard Jeffries had the 50-year turning point. And he talked about systems and forces controlling ideas and knowledge, right? And so some things sometimes for people doing a quick read, that would go away. But when I made a mistake, Dr. Clarke would call me a damn fool and tell me to read, right? And don't come back until you read, right? And so being around him, I knew his guidelines. Don't open up your goddamn mouth if you couldn't back it up with any type of sources. And then he had
Brother
me.
Reggie, before you leave, can I ask you a question before you leave?
Yes, of course. Of course.
And I just want to say that I'm proud, say that I sent you quite a few Cash Apps before and you have never sent them back.
What is your name?
Say it again.
What's your name? I'm not looking
my
at
name is my name is Safa. I could send you a screenshot of them if you like. But I have a question. We had a little fun in the PK server the other day. We were going around and I just asked everyone how do they feel about the Egyptians, modern day or ancient, if they believe that those people are related to us. Now, what do you feel about that?
Well, humans in who had long periods of Africa uh and were all taken out of Africa or have some type of relations, maybe not biological, but some type of cultural relationships, because humans learn from humans. What the Egyptians say, if you're asking me what the Egyptians say,
Well, hold on, Brother Reggie, because
yes.
I know that you're pretty good with your words and stuff. Now, what I want to know is, you know how some of our teachers of the past have promoted the idea that we, descendants of slaves here in America, were somehow related to them, like those were our ancestors or our people. So what I'm
not.
okay,
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So they can hypothesize. They could talk about the Dogon people in North Africa. They can talk about Nubians going to the southern route and going through the aquatic areas into but they could talk about trade, like possibly the Nook and the Nubians. But to say that there's actually we or the ancient Egyptians, only the Kemetic crazies do that. I don't do that. Kemetic crazies, they don't even know where Kemet comes from. Most of them can't even read the Meta Nature at all. So so they do things with spiritual stuff. They stand in front of statues. They might say that they speak with mummies and their ancestors and all that stuff. That's them, not me. What we can say is that if there was some innovation in Africa, it may have spread the innovation, but not necessarily the peoples. And there's nothing special about the damn Egyptians. Nothing special about them, except except in their environment, they were able to spend long periods along the Nile. They had peace for a long time period, and then they were able to construct a civilization that they borrowed from other people, the desert people, and the people from the south and the people from the north. They were great innovators, but there's nothing biologically special about them. That's what I really meant to say, right? Nothing biologically special because lots of different people went into the Nile, and once they were able to learn, they learned, right? But there's nothing but they're not the superhuman race. They're none of that. They made mistakes on diet. They had a very high cattle diet, led to hypertension, heart attacks. They susceptible to many Nile diseases. They actually had short lives. They try to counteract that by trying to study, but they still didn't get things right, and many of them died in a very young age.
Well, thank you for your answer.
Yeah, that was a refreshing answer, Reggie. I just had a quick little follow-up. So you don't find any value in the Hermetic spirituality, the opening of the way, and the shoe, and all that stuff like that.
No.
Okay.
First of all, the opening of the way is a damn lie. The opening the way is a funeral text. You can go to the Metropolitan Museum of Art with me, and you can see the origin of it on a coffin, right? In the Met, there's a set, there's Hathor on both sides, meaning both sides, the head and the foot, and then there are other elements on the right side and the left side. It's the opening of the way, their line dance that they do. Yeah. A Nezarek, sure, right? Anuka, sure, right? That's not often text. And then they bring in Happy Kabesinoff, and the two other brothers. Once you bring in Kabesinoff and Happy, you're talking about death. So anybody doing that in life, is stupid. They just show they haven't read the text. They don't know the opening of the way is when you die, right? When you die, and what they hypothesize that you are going to, either your place or you're getting your heart weighed, but you don't want to be bringing that up when you have children around or anything like that. Do you want to? There's other texts where they do praise to the sun. They do praise to the Nile, the Ichiru, right? Happy, right? Happy, not Happy, the son of Horus, but Happy the Nile, right? So what they do is, listen, they build in their churches, and I've had
that's what it. Yeah. So in other words, someone doing that shit at quote unquote comedic ascension and on a Sunday would be actually. I think I've heard that it being a whole funerary thing.
I've debated Jabari.
Wow.
I've had conversations with his with his elder teacher, Samaj, Patah Samaj, James spelled backwards. His real name was James. He flipped it to Samaj, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
His name was James, right? And he was and so in the early days with Dr. Ben, I was around, and they used to walk around with the Book of the Dead as if it was the Bible, right?
Right.
It's not the Bible. It's a death book. It's a book on dying and being reborn,